West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrissey announced a $700 million multi-state settlement to resolve allegations that the maker of Suboxone improperly marketed and promoted that drug in its distribution, leading to the improper use of state Medicaid funds. As part of the settlement, Reckitt Benckiser Group will pay West Virginia almost $12 million. Both the Ranson City Council and Charlestown City Council.
Through the evening time, a lot of cloud cover building in, and for the daytime tomorrow, we'll start to see some scattered showers, especially into the afternoon. Early morning low in the upper 40s. The daytime high tomorrow only in the upper 50s. Better chance for rain tomorrow night into Sunday. Sunday's a warmer day with highs close to 70, then dry and a bit cooler early next week. I'm Bob Kukin, Talk Radio, WRNR.
It's West Virginia high school football featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Back to throw, lets it go near side, off the hands of the intended receiver, picked off at the 45-yard line and down the near sideline. There goes Trey Sign. He's going to race all the way into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. It'll be senior night at Coburn Field as Martinsburg entertains the Jefferson Cougars on Friday night with the kickoff at 7. Our pregame at 6 and Miller time at 5 p.m. here on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10, bringing local events to you.
The following sports special is a broadcast presentation of Talk Radio, WRNR, Martinsburg.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
We ask for a chance is fair.
We ask for a chance is fair.
Chance to equal our stripe.
Chance to equal our stripe.
Chance to do it there.
Chance to do it there.
We should win.
We should win.
Let it be by the code.
Let it be by the code.
Faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
We should lose.
We should lose.
Stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Day by day.
Day by day.
We get better and better.
We get better and better.
So we can't beat beat.
We can't beat beat.
Woo, beat, beat.
Who let the dogs out?
It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school football, featuring the AAA Martinsburg Bulldogs. To get you ready for today's play-by-play action, we'll bring you interviews, in-depth analysis, and important game information on the pregame show. So let's get things started by going to the stadium and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
As the Martinsburg Bulldogs will have senior night welcoming in the Jefferson Cougars from nearby Shenandoah Junction. For Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10 Sports, I'm Matt Miller along with Vic Holmes. Jason Colrick is down on the sideline. Matt Crawford, our engineer at the studio. Our on-site producer is Ash Gurry, and Zach Van Meter and Eric Sterick are operating today's cameras. Well, Vic, hard to believe that we are this late into the season already, but not hard to believe that the Martinsburg Bulldogs continue their winning ways. They'll come in at 8-0 on the year, and off of arguably their biggest win of the season. This time last week, we were on the road to Salem, Virginia, against a Spartans team that has been a powerhouse in their classification in Virginia. Martinsburg playing for their 50th consecutive win. And did they go out and get the job done in a 49-14 victory? I'd say yes, they did.
They most certainly did. I thought that was one of the best football teams that I've seen in a long time, and Martinsburg showed very well down there in that football game from the opening kickoff to the last play of the game. You know, it's one of the things I've talked about regarding this team. It's the fact that they are so consistent in what they do. There aren't very many times that we could actually say they had, and I can't remember this, it may have happened, 2 back-to-back bad series, either on offense or defense. They may have had one here and maybe had one there, but I've yet to see 2 back-to-back. It seems as though they come prepared, they're ready to play, and one of the good things about it is they kind of come out and play with blinders on. It doesn't matter who the opponent is, and that's the signs of a good team. You come out, you play with that consistency. It doesn't matter who's on the other side of you. It's, you know, we haven't heard all year. Of course, we were expecting last week going into the Salem game that, oh, well, you know, they were looking past this team and looking for the Salem game. Well, that didn't happen, and they went down to Salem and showed obviously they weren't looking past that ball game. But that's one of the things I liked about this team is the fact that they're able to do things on a consistent basis. They make plays, and they do it in great fashion. In other words, they can score in any way you can score out there on the field. We haven't seen a lineman intercept one run it back for a touchdown yet, but Season's not over yet.
Well, and not only the way that they can put those points on the board, but Vic, what was impressive last week against a very good Salem offense, they slowed down that running game. They've got that type of running game you're not going to just stop, and held that very good team to just 14 points.
There's not too many teams at any level that actually will stop a particular aspect, the running game and the passing game. Passing game especially, you can have bad days. You just have some bad throws, a couple tipped balls here and there, may get intercepted, that type thing. The run game's a little bit different in the sense of you can make some plays here on the run game, but I thought, they had a very good running football team. That's the best running team I think I've seen, even better than the Sharando team last year. They ran the ball exceptionally well. Martinsburg bent a few times, but never did break. I just thought, again, that consistency that we have seen from this team all year long showed up last week.
So Martinsburg comes in at 8-0, right now number 1 in the WVSS-AC computer ratings. For the Jefferson Cougars, they are 1-6 on the season, suffering back-to-back losses since their only victory. That win came back on September 27th, 26-14 on the road at Heritage, Virginia. The next week at home, a tough 27-20 loss against Dominion, and then after a bye week, came out last of Friday night, hosting a very good South Hagerstown team, and just could not slow down the Rebels as South High got the win in that one, 47-13. So Jefferson coming in at 1-6 on the year.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for Jefferson. You have to go back and you take a look at last year. Tough year last year. You come back in and you do get an early win in your season, but obviously they couldn't sustain it. It's just one of those things that you have to find something that you can lay your hat on, and it has not been their offense and it has not been their defense, and that's the bad part about it is, you're hoping that one of those areas can help carry you, and they have not been able to do that.
It's an offense that right now is averaging only 16.7 points a game while giving up about 36 a game, and it will be a challenge today against this very good Martinsburg team. Well, let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team down on the sideline, Jason Colrick. Hey, the teams are out and beginning their warm-ups. Jason, what's it like tonight?
Matt, it's actually a pretty nice evening out here. A little bit overcast, hoping that the rain's going to hold off that they've been calling for the weekend, and it looks like it's going to. The weather is absolutely beautiful out here. Again, overcast, not a bit of wind, and the crowd's starting to build here. One of the questions, I listened to you guys on Miller Time. I'm going to actually ask the coach here in our interview here shortly, how does this senior class compare to some of his other senior classes, as this is senior night. They're prepping down here on the track for all of that, so it's going to be an exciting night to watch. Probably what is going to be one of the winningest senior classes in the history of Martinsburg take their final walk out here tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to think of a senior class that's going to win more, as this team right now riding a 50-game winning streak, as Martinsburg going 14-0 in 2016, 14-0 in 2017, 14-0 in 2018, and off to an 8-0 start here in 2019. Our pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Find them online at WHMsystems.com or give them a call at 304-350-1931. Up next, we'll talk with the Bulldogs senior players, see what's happening on the JV and freshman levels. It's the Dog Tag Senior Profile and Bullpup Report. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time now for the Dog Tag Senior Profile and the Bullpup Report. They're brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Phil McCoy and John Everson. You can phone them at 304-263-4343 with all of your financial questions, or stop by and see them at 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. We will get it started with our Dog Tag Profile. We are talking with senior offensive and defensive lineman Terrell Good. Terrell, a great season that you and your team are having. Give us an idea of what this year has been like for you.
It's been exciting. Playing with them last year and playing with them it's been a joyride. I say myself that. Yeah, playing with them is like a family, like a family team.
All right, take us to your two positions. Let's start on the offensive side of the football. What is it like for you in the trenches trying to block other guys?
Oh, it's fun. I'm not really an offensive guy, I'm gonna admit. I'm not an offensive guy. But it's fun blocking people for my team. We get open, score touchdowns. Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so if you'd rather be on the other side, what is it about being a defender that makes you that much more excited?
Hitting. It's
That's
not
it.
about making plays. It's fun doing that. Mm-hmm.
Is it more exciting making that play in the backfield?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do. Sacks, yeah.
Is football your favorite?
Yep.
Are you participating in other sports?
Yeah, I'm playing basketball and I'm doing track.
All right. How have those games maybe helped your football game?
They're like really, well, basketball, like, I don't know. I think, like, 'cause my parents wanted me to, like, my mom wanted me to play basketball when I was little. So I was like, I'm not really a basketball guy. I mean, I was good at it because one time I wasn't, like, really good at football. I played, like, 1 year on the Little League, and, like, I was bad. So I played basketball, and my mom was like, yeah, basketball might be good for you. So I was like, I might. But I got bigger, started lifting, and I just started playing football.
All right. When you're not playing football or basketball or doing anything else, what do you like to do to just relax?
Play a game or just sleep.
Sleep is always good. How about in school? How's it going? What are some of your favorite classes?
It's going good. I don't really have like any favorite classes. I like all my classes right now. So, yeah.
As a senior, you got to be thinking about what is coming next. Would you like to keep playing football? And if so, have you decided where?
I like to continue playing football, but I don't know where yet. So it's undecided.
All right. As far as college, is there a line of study that you're interested in?
Probably business.
All right.
That's why I probably don't do it. But I don't know, like, if I change my mind, I'll change my mind about it.
Well, Terrell, thank you for your time. Good luck the rest of this season and in those upcoming decisions.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Terrell Good. He is in the spotlight of our Dog Tag Senior Profile. Stay tuned. We've got the Bullpup Report coming up next.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
It's time now for the Bullpup Report as we talk freshman and JV football. We get it started talking with JV head coach Britt Sherman. The team fresh off of a win earlier in the week, finally back on the field. How good was it to play?
It was nice. It was nice just to finally get back out and have a opponent with a different jersey, and the kids were really excited about it.
That opponent was Jefferson, and you came out on top. What was the final, and tell us what you saw?
The final was 54-7, so he came out with a win, and just a lot of effort. Couple kids, Hudson Clement had a really big game for us. Opened the game off with a really big reception, had a punt return for a touchdown, did well in defense. Peyton Curry is progressing at the quarterback position. He does a real good job with us, and just managing the game, and he makes some mistakes, but I think he's going to be all right, just in that position, and looking forward to here in the next couple of years, fighting for that spot.
Giving up just the one score, how well did you play? How did you get it done defensively?
We played well defensively. Our guys in the front did really well. They scored once we try to get everybody in the game and play everybody. But those guys, when they came in, played hard as well. So they just got one on us, and those guys did a really good job. Isaac Levy, linebacker, and Christian Slack and Donovan Layton, those guys up front did a really good job.
Are you able to kind of gauge the progression of your JV team, or is it hard because of the few games that you've played and how far apart they are?
No, you can still see the progression. I mean, we have a couple kids every year that they start on JV and then they move up to varsity. And like Jarvis Thurston didn't play with us this week because, now he's more of a varsity player. And we actually have a couple guys that, with an injury or two might actually be playing on Friday night that played Monday night, but now they're ready because they're 4 JV games in and they're ready to go.
What is next for your JV team?
We play Musselman here at Coburn at Monday at 6 o'clock.
Coach, we wish you the best in that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
JV head coach Britt Sherman joining us with our Bullpup Report. Stay tuned. We'll talk freshman football next. We continue our Bullpup Report talking freshman football with head coach Kip Schallis. The team coming off a hard-fought victory on Wednesday night. Coach, tell us how it played out up at Fort Hill.
Yeah, very tough atmosphere, tough game. Fort Hill showed up, gave us all we wanted last night. We won 16-0, but 0-0 at halftime, so we told the kids we got the kickoff in the second half. So we told them we still have the advantage, and let's just go back to work and put everything together and stop stalling out drives and turn the ball over, and we did, and we were able to score twice in the second half, and another shutout, though, thankfully for our defense.
Tell us what got that offense going in the second half.
We were able to spread the ball around. We threw it probably more than we've ever thrown it all year last night. Murphy Clement and Ezra Bajan are our quarterbacks, and they did a good job spreading the ball out to our receivers who were winning their one-on-one matchups. It was just their job to get them the ball, and they were able to do that.
Tell us about that defense in pitching a shutout against a Fort Hill team that's good.
Yeah, it's defensively we're sound. We have a different guy each week. Seems like the player of the week on the defensive side. Up front, we got guys that are big and tenacious, and our linebacker crew's great, and our safeties and our cornerbacks can cover well. So it's tough to sustain a drive on us consistently. You're always going to have some drives and some big plays, but they always buckle down. They don't break. So it's definitely, as an offensive coordinator, it's your best friend out there.
How good was it to see your guys in that type of game respond the way they did?
It was great. We told them, we haven't had a whole lot of adversity this year. So a little in the Bridgeport game, but I told them that that there's 2 ways we can go with this at halftime, and you could tell they were eager and they wanted to do better and have a second chance, and they had a second chance. So it was it was good to see them overcome that adversity. So I was pleased with the effort.
What is next for your team?
We play Musselman next Wednesday, so we get 4 days of practice, and then we'll get play Musselman here for our last game of the season, and it'll be over before you know it. It seemed like it just started a little bit ago, but Musselman next week.
Coach, we wish you the best in that one. Thank you.
Thank you.
freshman head coach Kip Shallis. He's joining us with our bullpup report along with the dog tag senior profile. They're brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors Phil McCoy and John Everson. If you've got financial or retirement questions, give them a call at 304-263-4343 or stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. We've got more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show coming up. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Coach David Walker. The conversation brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg. Let's send it down to Jason.
Thank you, Matt. I'm down here with Coach. Coach, game 9, home game, obviously senior night, but coming off of a big win last week. After getting a chance to review it, can you talk to me about your team's performance last week?
I thought we played really well, despite 3 turnovers in the first quarter. Defensively, did a nice job, and offensively, we were able to make some plays.
Coach, again, we talked about senior night, this senior class. What's special about this senior class? Obviously, the winning streak, having lost. What is so special about this senior class that they just keep winning?
I mean, they're talented, and they're good kids. I can't say enough good things about them. They do everything we ask them to do, and they got unique personalities, but it's a special group, and I've been around them for a long time just because of a couple of them, their parents I've known for a long time. So I've seen this group actually grow up since I've watched them play since they've all been 8 years old. So I'm happy for them, proud of them.
How does this senior class compare to maybe some of the senior classes you've had in the past?
I don't know. I mean, they're all different. All of them. I mean, we lose great players every year, so they're as talented a group as we've had, so they're pretty good.
Looking at your opponent tonight, Jefferson, obviously their record doesn't come in, that stellar, but what are some of the things you're looking to do tonight to against them?
Well, we need to get our athletes out in space offensively and just try to make some plays. Defensively, I mean, we got to contain Pearson, him running and throwing the ball, but it's got to be fundamentally sound.
At this point in the season, are you pretty happy with where you are on the offensive side as far as balance running and passing the ball?
Yeah, I am. I think we've done a good job, identifying what we need to do each week and executing the game plan once we start. If we have to adapt it, I'm pleased with what how we're able to adapt things to what we're seeing.
Obviously, this is week 9. You got one more week of the regular season. Where are you guys at health-wise?
We're actually a little banged up. We got a few guys sitting out ceilings, and so we're down a few men, but hopefully our younger guys can step in and pick up the slack, and we can create some depth.
I appreciate your time, Coach. We'll talk to you at halftime. There you go, Matt. Just a few comments from the coach, and we'll catch up with him at halftime.
There you go, Jason Colrick with Martinsburg head coach David Walker in the end zone. That segment brought to you by Parsons Ford. In the market for a new or used vehicle? Check out their great selection online at parsonsfordofmartinsburg.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons. Vic, before we get in a break, let's go back to one of those questions. Jason asked Coach Walker about the balance that his offense has had this season and if he's been pleased with it. He obviously said yes. How about this balance? 207 rushing yards a game, 171 passing yards a game for a total of about 378 yards a contest. Not quite 50-50, but pretty darn close.
Yes, it is pretty close, and that tells you one thing. No one has been able to take any one thing away from this team, so they balance it out. You know, the offense, as far as the run game is concerned, they get what they need. The passing game, they get what they need. So it's not like any team has come out and said, okay, we're going to take away the passing game. Now, there have been some teams that have attempted to do certain things. For example, it comes to mind, first of all, is Hedgesville. They came out with the intent, well, you're not going to throw the ball on us. Martinsburg said, fine, so we just run it down your throat. And same way if you come to a situation like a Sharando, well, we're going to stop your run game. And so they just threw it all around the field until the defense backed up and played a normal defense, and then the offense and the defense, as you know, Martinsburg just kind of took over. They ran it and passed it as well and as often as they wanted to. So taking away one caused them problems, and taking away the other caused them problems. I don't
That's
know
what makes this team so hard.
Exactly. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to stop this football team.
It's funny. You mentioned those two games. Here are the two numbers. Hedgesville says, okay, we're not going to let you pass against us. Only gave up 98 passing yards, so the Bulldogs run for 319 yards, an average of 13.9 yards per carry. That Sharando game, hey, we're not going to let you run. All right, still 6.7 yards a carry, 174 yards on 26 carries, but 231 passing yards. That is the second most that Martinsburg has had this season. So, again, pick your poison, how you're going to approach trying to stop this team.
And it still boils down to one thing. First of all, starting out in the football game, where does everyone start? They start from behind. Martinsburg just clobbers people in the first quarter. You get so far behind now, all of a sudden, again, you start to lose your game plan. You wanted to do this, this, and this. Now you're down 2, 3, 4 scores, so it makes it difficult for you to stay with that.
152-0. That is the score after quarter number 1 this season for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Throughout the entire 8 games so far, the Dogs have yet to give up a first quarter point while scoring 152 of their own.
And that is amazing simply because of last week against Salem, the best football team they played all year. They turned it over 3 times in the first quarter and still did not give up a score.
There you go. That is the challenge that lies ahead for the Jefferson Cougars in their matchup tonight against the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Well, let's find out what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle. Up next, it's our check of the area schedule as we continue on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Over? It's not over until we say it's over. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? No!
After an eternity in the cold trenches filled with the sinew of flesh.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Men have to dig down deep and grab a hold of anything they can for motivation. Rock's Coffee, a great pick-me-upper.
You care about your car, so you take it to the best mechanic. You love your dog, so you take it to a vet you trust. So why go with just anyone when it comes to your insurance? With a local Allstate agent, you get expert advice you can trust and the best coverage for you. And because they live in your community, you can always count on them to be there when you need them the most.
Call Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time now for the check of the area schedule, brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance, a full-line insurance agency on Lakeview Drive near the intersection of Rockcliffe Drive in Martinsburg. Just 3 other games involving EPAC teams tonight, including a conference matchup with Musselman visiting Washington. The Applemen coming off a 26-24 win against Wheeling Park last week, their 4th straight victory, and that has the Applemen at 7 7-1. Musselman head coach Brian Thomas likes the way they're playing with 4 straight wins after their only loss of the year.
And I think that loss just made us realize, like, we got to work a little bit harder. We got to come together a little bit more. I think we took the things from that loss and realized, hey, these are the things we have to get better at. And they took that to heart, and they got better at those things.
Meanwhile, Washington had one get away last week, falling at Preston 21-14, their 3rd straight setback that has the Patriots at 2-5. Head coach Glenn Simpson.
They know full well what's in store in terms of the caliber of athlete and the caliber of coaching that Musselman is going to bring, and they have worked extremely hard. They've been very focused, and I expect them to put out there and play a great game Friday night.
Musselman won last year's meeting between these two. 70-6 was that final. Tonight's kickoff in Charlestown is set for 7 p.m. Also tonight, Spring Mills will visit Parkersburg. The Cardinals coming off an impressive win at Albert Gallatin in Uniontown, Pennsylvania last week, 22-19. It was a 4th down, late 4th quarter touchdown that was the difference. It has the Cardinals at 4-3, same record as their opponent tonight, the Parkersburg Big Reds. They're coming in off a 42-28 victory against Hurricane. Parkersburg is winners of 2 of their last 3. Spring Mills head coach Chad Williams on facing the Big Reds.
Not anything there in terms of common opponents, and really not much to go off of. On film they look pretty good. Really impressed with their quarterback. This is a good regular season test for us. It should have a little bit of a playoff style environment and atmosphere.
It'll be the first ever meeting between these two teams, with the kickoff in Parkersburg tonight at 7. And Hedgesville is back from a bye week to play at North Hagerstown. The Eagles still looking for their first win of the year. They are 0-7, but against a very tough schedule. Head coach Joey Urish.
Going into this year, I thought, the first 2 games of the year were winnable for us, and I thought going into these last 3 games we could have an opportunity to win, so that would put us at 5-5. Unfortunately, we didn't handle our job at the beginning of the year, so now we just got to go out there and take advantage of week by week and try to win every game that we can possibly win to finish out the year.
North Hagerstown is just 2-5, but they are coming off a 48-47 win at Boonesboro last week. The Hubs and Eagles did not play last season. Tonight's kickoff at North Hagerstown is at 7. And our matchup tonight has 1-6 Jefferson on the road to face 8-0 Martinsburg. It is senior night at Coburn Field for the Bulldogs. We'll continue to preview the matchup coming up on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Right now, we wrap up our check of the area schedule, brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance. They're at 724 Lakeview Drive near the intersection of Rockcliffe Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-4596. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery. Anthony'sMenu.com.
Escorted by his mom and dad and brother.
As we welcome you back into Coburn Field, The activities underway for senior night, final home game of the regular season for the Martinsburg Bulldogs as they entertain the Jefferson Cougars. Martinsburg will close out the regular campaign next week on the road at Musselman, then a bye week before heading into the playoffs for what will be the 22nd consecutive season for the Jefferson Cougars. After this one tonight, they will be back at home for their senior activities as they will entertain Hedgesville next week and then on the road at Washington in that Jefferson County showdown on November 8th. For Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10 Sports, along with Vic Holmes, I'm Matt Miller. Jason Colrick on the sideline, Matt Crawford at the studio, Zach Van Meter and Eric Sterick running cameras. Ash Gurry is our on-site producer. Vic, 22 seniors in the class being introduced. Add in cheerleaders and perhaps some other fall sports, and it is a long line of those who will be recognized here this evening as they put the finishing touches on at least this portion of their high school career.
Yeah, a long time ago, but I still remember my high school. It's something you never forget. It's the last one you get to walk out there and everybody gets to see you and you feel like you've accomplished something, and it really was. And you know, this is maybe your last home game or maybe your last game period. So you feel really, really good about it. At least I know I did. I'm sure these guys do as well, and ladies also.
Now on the goal, let's go out there and make it a memorable one on the field tonight as well, and we'll see if Martinsburg can do that against these Jefferson Cougars. Vic, let's begin to break down the Cougars. We talked earlier about the points per game at about 16.7. You look at how they've gotten there, and they average about 293 yards a game, roughly 141 through the air and about 152 on the ground. A very balanced attack. The issue is they haven't been able to turn those yards into points.
No, they haven't, and that's the thing. You know, you got a lot of teams that are what we sometimes call 30 to 30 teams. I mean, they'll run it from the 30-yard line down to the other 30-yard line and never get any closer and do not put points on board. So that's a big problem for this football team. They've done this, and they have not been some of the best defensive that they've run against this year. So tonight will be a little bit different. This will be a more aggressive, this will be more physical, and also a secondary that is just really, I say this secondary at Martinsburg is second to none in the state of West Virginia.
Well, and when you look at those numbers for Jefferson offensively and putting up some yards, one of those issues, as you said, not being able to finish drives, and part of that, turnovers. They have turned it over 11 times this season, and according to the stat sheet that we were sent from the Cougar coaching staff, they themselves have forced only 2 turnovers through 7 games this season. So when you're -9 in that category, tough to win games.
It certainly is. And, you know, one of the things about a team like this who doesn't score a whole lot, you're under duress all the time. And when you're under duress and you're back there as a quarterback throwing, or you can have just a freak situation where somebody just knocks it out of your hand as a running back and you lose the ball on a fumble. And this is a team that cannot take the football and sustain it, 60, 70, 80 yards down the field. So, having such an imbalance in turnover and also takeaways, that ratio is really off balance for a team like this who doesn't score very much.
Well, and we heard from head coach David Walker earlier, one of the guys they've got to contain, Corbin Pearson, the starting quarterback, has thrown for 899 yards, has run for 344, so over 1,000 yards for him offensively on this season, and he's the one that's going to have to make this team go tonight.
Well, there's going to be some offensive plays tonight, and he's just going to take the football on a snap and just take off with it, and you're going to see that several times. And you're also going to see that a few times when he's back to pass. He's going to take off a little bit early because he's going to have to try to take things into his own hands and try to get it done that way. He's probably their biggest offensive threat as being the quarterback throwing the football. He can't throw it and catch his own, so he's going to run it probably more than they'd like for him to run anyway.
So there you go. That's a quick look at the Jefferson Cougars. We'll continue that look on the other side of this break, as next we'll hear from 7th 7th-year head coach Craig Hunter getting his thoughts on last week's tough loss against South Hagerstown and looking ahead to facing these Martinsburg Bulldogs. The pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems. They provide custom integration services for your home and office, for home theater, networking, audio-video distribution, and more. Phone them at 304-350-1931. They're online at WHMsystems.com. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time now to hear from Jefferson Cougars' 7th-year head coach Craig Hunter. The Cougars at 1-6 have dropped 2 in a row, including last week's 47-13 loss against South Hagerstown.
Well, there's some things that we didn't do correctly, and we had some misassignments as far as alignments go defensively. We had some misassignments as far as offensive blocking went. But I thought we were able to, once we got some things corrected, I thought we were able to do some positive things. We were able to move the ball up and down the field. I thought we were able to, move the ball up and down the field, but we weren't able to continue to drive and punch it in. I think we had a 15-play drive that stalled on us at the end of the drive. Defensively, there's some of the same things that we've talked about over the season is just, some tackling issues. We'd have the kids bottled up in the backfield and get out of it. Just still got to correct those issues, especially going into this week.
Were those mishaps and alignment issues that you talked about at the beginning, was that even more frustrating knowing you were coming off of a bye week?
Yes, it was. It was, most definitely. To know that we had extra time to spend on it, and just to have those situations happen when you come off of a bye week, it's just a little frustrating.
Is it at a point where you almost feel snake-bitten the way that this season has gone? The opportunities have been there and you just haven't quite been able to capitalize?
Somewhat, yes. Because I think sometimes we feel sometimes that we've sometimes beaten ourselves in certain games. Not necessarily that the opponent has 100% beat us and they just flat out beat us sometimes, and sometimes we just shot ourselves in the foot a couple times.
What challenges do the Martinsburg Bulldogs present to your Cougars this week?
The same challenges they present to everybody every single week. They have a lot of speed, dynamic receiving core, and a dynamic running back. Those guys are very good in space. The issues of tackling are got to be solved this week, or we're not going to get hands on those guys at all.
How about when you look at that Martinsburg defense, what is the challenge that they present?
Their front six are pretty dynamic. They have been for the last several years. They're going to probably play man-to-man just so they can get after us. So it's just got to
just got to get on our assignments and get on our blocks. Just get on our blocks and be able to make sure we can open up paths for the running backs.
And that is Jefferson Cougars head coach Craig Hunter. Stay tuned. We'll continue to preview the matchup with Jefferson at Martinsburg on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out of there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
We welcome you back into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, getting ready for the Martinsburg Bulldogs hosting the Jefferson Cougars on this Friday night. We've talked a little bit about Jefferson. We mentioned earlier the balance that Martinsburg has had offensively. Let's quickly look at that Bulldog defense, still giving up only about 55 rushing yards a game and 56 passing yards a game. That's 110, maybe 111 total yards when you add it together. We talk about a consistency and a balance on offense. That's a pretty balanced defense as well.
It certainly is, and you know, we've watched this team again with that consistency of stopping the run, 3 down and out situations, a lot of lost yardage plays and that type of thing. Haven't had many interceptions. That's one of the things that's really strange, you would think, especially with the secondary Martinsburg has, but teams, #1, they don't have much time to throw back there, and I think most of these teams do not come into this ball game, or even in not only this game but any other game, with the intent of putting the ball in the air a lot. These teams, I mean, this is the era of throwing the football, and these teams just don't do it. They don't throw.
Sneaky, though, they are. As Vic, they've got 17 picks and 13 fumbles. You wouldn't think it. That's 30 turnovers that they have forced out of opponents. Martinsburg is plus 21 in that turnover category. As good as this offense is, when your defense can take it away from an opponent and give it right back to you, it makes it that much more difficult.
Sure, and that goes back to what we said earlier about the first quarter. Well, you know, when you hold a team, you're in your 8th game of the season, and the 8 opponents that you've had have not scored in the first quarter, and you've scored a big bunch. That makes it awfully difficult. And again, it puts so much pressure on the other team, is that we got to get back into this ball game, or we can't get any further behind. So there again, you get out of your game plan, you get out of the normalcy that you came into this football game with, because you can't afford to get any further behind. You make mistakes, you get turnovers, and then you get further behind.
Let's check in with Jason one more time from down on the sidelines. The senior night activities continuing. Jason, what's that atmosphere like as we inch our way towards opening kickoff?
You know, the atmosphere is actually very upbeat. You know, the stands aren't as full as what you normally see on a normal Friday night down here. I'll tell you what, I did get an opportunity to sit over here and talk to Coach Ernie McCook, the head coach of Shepherd. You know, they get that rare occasion. They're not traveling until tomorrow morning to Millersville, so he gets an opportunity to come out and see some of the local kids and maybe recruit some of this talent down here. So that's awesome to see them out here supporting the Martinsburg Martinsburg Bulldogs. Again, it's a beautiful night. The sun has set, so it's getting a little chilly, but no wind, so don't have to worry about frostbite from wind chill or something.
Well, and you mentioned Coach McCook. Joining him over there is the former Martinsburg quarterback, now Shepherd quarterback. That's Tyson Bajans.
And he wanted me to pass on to you and Vic that and that he misses having the three of us down there for the game, but he definitely wanted me to pass on that it was good to talk to you.
There you go. Well, Vic will be doing the broadcast tomorrow, or should I say telecast on TV10. He'll be joining Matt Crumbs-Crawford for the broadcast from Millersville. Vic, you get a kick out of that nickname every time.
I do. I love that.
All right. Hey, Vic, time for us.
Okay, see you tomorrow, Crumbs.
We got to get into our keys to the game. They're brought to you by Luttrell LC. Let Chris Luttrell hand you the keys to your new home for all of your real estate legal needs. Call Luttrell LC at 304-267-3050. Let's start with the visitors from Jefferson High School. Keys for the Cougars.
Well, I think the big thing is going to be you've got to do something with the football. And you get the football, you got to be able to, take the ball down the field. You got to put the ball in the end zone. And obviously we know that's going to be very, very tough. But at the same time, you can't have three and out, and that consistency. And that's one of the things that they've had. Too many 3 and outs. And if you do that, you're going to find yourself deep in a hole early in this football game. And there goes the game plan. And now you got to chuck it around the field, and you're going to see 2 or 3 interceptions, quarterback sacks. And that's what we've seen pretty much, especially in the first quarter with everybody Martinsburg's played just about this year.
Well, and obviously a key for every team, and we've already hit that statistic, how strong Martinsburg's been in quarter number 1. You got to stay close as long as you can in this one.
Yeah, you do. You have to try to keep it as close as you can. And again, that's controlling the football. Mm-hmm. And some of the little things we talk about, and we've talked about it every game. We've talked about the first game, and we're going to talk about it again tonight. You got to run that play clock down.
Yeah.
You got to take your time out there and hold on to the football that way. And you see teams no huddle and that sort of thing. You don't want to no huddle against Martinsburg. That's just, you're going to give the ball back to them a little bit faster than you really want to. So you take your good old time, and you don't do crazy things. We've seen some teams early in the year being in their own territory, be it a 35, 40-yard line, 3rd and 1, or 4th and 1, and think you're going to get it, and attempt it and lose 3 yards, and Martinsburg takes it in the next play, and then you're down another touchdown. So you can't do crazy things. Give your team an opportunity or a chance to win.
All right, let's go to the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Keys for them.
Well, the usual thing I say, just do what you do. And Martinsburg offensively have been consistent all year. They run it, they pass it, and I think one of the things is the fact that if they haven't overplayed, in other words, like last week, that was a game they could have overplayed. In other words, try to do too much, too fast, and against a very good football team, they could have gotten themselves in trouble. They didn't. They play the game according to their level. No one speeds them up, no one slows them down. They play at the same pace, so if they do the same thing tonight, I don't think they'll have any problems.
There you go. Keys to the game brought to you by Chris Luttrell of Luttrell LC. Locally owned. They know the business, and they're part of the community. You can win every time when it comes to your real estate legal needs. Just call Luttrell LC at 304-267-3050. Puts the finishing touches on our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show as the Martinsburg Band and the Junior ROTC make their way out onto the field. We'll take our final 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll catch a portion of the national anthem, and we'll take a look at today's starting lineups. It's Martinsburg hosting Jefferson, West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
And that concludes today's pregame show.
We play every play like it's the most important play of the game.
Let's go. Coming up next, it's the starting lineups, opening kick, and play-by-play action of West Virginia high school football. Today's game is being brought to you by
Parsons Ford, your friendly Martinsburg Ford dealer. Bechtel Jewelers, Rudy Levin South, Inwood. Berkeley and Morgan County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. Miller Honda, just one click away at mymillerhonda.com. The Marius Group, start planning for a brilliant future. Johnny's, restaurant quality foods at wholesale prices. J&P Service and Repair, getting your tractor back in gear. Hagerstown Ford, FordofHagerstown.com. And WBU Medicine University Healthcare, West Virginia's largest healthcare provider.
And now, let's go back to the field and rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
And there you go, the Martinsburg High School Marching Band with our national anthem, presenting the flags, the junior ROTC. Time for us now to get into our starting lineups, brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist. If your vehicle is not starting properly, start at D&N Auto to get it fixed right the first time. Family owned and operated since 1974. Phone 304-267-4078. Let's begin with the visitors from Jefferson High. The Cougars being led by head coach Craig Hunter in his 7th season, 29 wins, 42 losses, spent 15 years as an assistant football coach at Jefferson, 2 years at Washington before taking over this program and leading the team to postseason appearances in 2014, 15, and 16. In 2017, a tough 0-10 season last year, a 2-8 campaign, 1-6 coming into this one here this evening. For Jefferson, the starting quarterback Corbin Pearson, joining him in the backfield, running back Francis Diaz. Wide receivers Spencer Powell and Julian Pataray. On the other side, Antoine Lewis and John Gidney III. Along the front line, Joe Sines is a tackle along with Corey Schaefer. Chris Dyke is a guard along with Kyle Kucher. And Brady Chrisman is the starting center. On the defensive side, it looks like the defensive tackles will be Jelani Hollis and Drake Sims. DNs, Francis Diaz and Sean Corum. Linebackers, Jackie Walters and Brady Chrisman. Corners are Corbin Pearson, Julian Pataray, and Antoine Lewis, while the safeties, Spencer Powell and John Gidney III. You may notice just 4 different names in that starting lineup, as Jefferson has a lot of guys going 2 ways. For Martinsburg, we understand a couple of injuries and as well a couple of disciplinary matters that may keep a few players out in this one. We know Elijah Banks will be at quarterback. We understand Naeem Kearney with an injury, so look for Trey Sine and Kevon Warren out there at running back. Gerard Bowie will be out there as a wideout along with Anthony Smith, and we believe it will be Dorn Smith and Jarvis Thurston. Trenton Sherman some time there as well. Terrell Good will be at one tackle. Not sure who the other tackle may be. Matt Bednarski has been nursing a shoulder injury. We are looking to see who may be the guards as well. Michael Turner, maybe Micah Selman, Christian Slack, and Jacob Zittel also working there at center and or maybe at one of those guard positions. Meanwhile, defensively, Michael Turner should be out there on that defensive front line along with Terrell Good. We'll wait and see who may spell Matt Bednarski. Linebackers, Braxton Todd, and again, we'll wait and see who that outside backer is, possibly Kevon Warren. Quentin Brown, Trey Sine, Bryce Morris will be inside backers. We're looking at probably Jarvis Thurston along with Dorn Smith as the corners and Anthony Smith as the free safety. Starting lineups brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is their best policy. A 30-second timeout. We're back with the opening kick. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
First impressions count, and your sign is your signature. Davis Designs is locally owned and locally operated with a legacy that spans over 30 years. Davis Designs is your one-stop shop for custom handcrafted signs, banners, vehicle lettering, design services, and vehicle wraps. Everything from temporary signs to hand-painted gold leafs. Go see Tom for anything from mild to wild. Call 304-267-7807. Follow them on Facebook at Davis Designs or stop by at 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Create your design today.
Well, the Jefferson Cougars winning the coin toss. They want the football. That means it'll be Chris Catlett placing it on the tee at the 40 to our right. Our opening kick brought to you by Davis Designs. They remind you first impressions mean a lot. Personal and business signs, vehicle wraps from mild to wild. Let Tom take care of your signage needs. Davis Designs, 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Check them out on Facebook or call them 304-267-7807. Catlett puts it along the far side hash mark. He will approach. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and kick it relatively deep, high along that far side, taking on the run at the 20-yard line. The return man quickly going out of bounds on that far sideline. That was John Gidney, the junior wide receiver, who caught that one on the run and returned it for just about 7 yards. So Jefferson football to get this one started, leading the way for the Cougars. The quarterback, Corbin Pearson, 69 of 157, is thrown for 899 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 7 interceptions on the season. Got to protect the football in this one. He'll have Diaz as the tailback to his left side, 2 receivers each way. Man in motion will put 3 to that far side. Snaps a little low, but Pearson's got it straight ahead. Quarterback running, pushes his way forward all the way out to that 35-yard line. Nice pickup of 8 yards. He's their second leading rusher. Is Corbin, has gone for 344 yards on 89 carries and 5 touchdowns. The leading rusher, their tailback, that is Francis Diaz, who's run for 614 yards and 4 scores. On a 2nd down and 2, Corbin sending Diaz in motion here to the near side. It'll be that quarterback keeper looking for some running room. There is none. Great job by Trey Sign, the linebacker, coming to fill that hole. And I believe it was Terrell Good, yes, the defensive end, who reached out and grabbed him with a hand and spun him down. See where they spot it. Looks like it may be measurable, or nope, it'll be a first down at the 37.
Got a very favorable spot there. But again, that's going to be their offense. The key to their offense is they can get their quarterback to make some plays out there, and Pearson's the guy. He's the biggest part of their offense.
On 1st down and 10 now from their own 37, Pearson wants to throw near side. Oh, in and out of the hands of the intended target, trying to get that one to Nathaniel Mule. He is a 6'3", 246-pound junior. That last name is spelled M-U-H-L-E. Hope I got that pronunciation right. Had that one in his hands in the flat on this right side, but could not make the catch.
Well, he just ran an out pattern that time. They had trip receivers, 3 receivers to this side. One did a post pattern down the middle, one did straight down the field, and he just did an out pattern toward the Martinsburg bench, was wide open.
On a 2nd and 10, man in motion to the far side. There's the handoff to Diaz. He squirts through a hole, grabbed by Bryce Morris, and the Bulldog linebacker will make the stop at the 42-yard line. That gain will be good for just about 5 yards. So a 3rd down and 5 coming. First 3rd down that Jefferson has faced on the evening.
Here's the big 3rd down play, and again, 1st and 2nd downs, always keys. Try to get enough yardage such that 3rd down is not that difficult.
They're converting at about 33% on 3rd down. Quick throw. This time Mule is able to hang on to that one. Immediately got hit, but was able to fight forward for a few extra yards. Spun down in Bulldog territory at the 49-yard line, and the gain is good for 9 and another 1st down.
That's a good throw that time. It was wide open. The ball was a little bit high, but Pearson got it to him. He had to throw of a couple outstretched arms. 10 minutes here in the first quarter, no score. Jefferson on the drive. Has the ball now in Martinsburg territory at the 49-yard line.
6th play of this opening possession. Again, man in motion to the far side. There is the snap back and the handoff to Diaz, and he is quickly met in the hole and taken down. Again, Terrell Good helping to make that stop along with the linebacker Trey Sign. It comes at the Bulldog 46 after a 3-yard pickup. Now, this is what Jefferson has done each week when we talk with Coach Hunter for our Miller Time Sports Talk Show and ask him about how each game plays out. He said, look, we've moved the football. The problem has been cashing it in. 3 receivers out to the left, a single receiver here to the right. Corbin out of the gun, looking to the sideline. Diaz to his right side. Man in motion to the near side, and it will be that quarterback draw off the right side of the line, just bulling his way forward. Pushes down to about the 42. Never taken down, but eventually driven backwards. They'll rule the progress after a 4-yard gain, and it will bring up a 3rd and about 3.
Another makeable 3rd down situation coming up.
And, Vic, you hit on that each week about the importance of being able to stay in 3rd in manageable situations. They had a 3rd and 5 earlier in this drive, converted there on this 3rd and 3. The snap is back, and Corbin to throw near side. Ball tipped and then caught at the 30-yard line. With that reception is John Gidney, and along the near side numbers, able to turn and take it down to the 22.
Well, the lucky bounce that time, and Gidney just happened to be in the right place at the right time. That was a ball that very well could have been intercepted, should have gone in, possibly incomplete, but it was caught off the carom. 8:27 to go. Jefferson continues to move the football, 1st and 10. Be at the 22-yard line of Martinsburg.
Corbin looking over that defense now, looking to the far sideline. This will be the 9th play of this opening possession that has already run better than 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes off the clock. Diaz to the right side of the quarterback. Mule in motion heading to that far side. There is the snap back and the throw. Mule with that catch and very quickly hit and taken down. That'll be a very short gain of just a yard to the 21-yard line. Looks like Braxton Todd helping to make that tackle for the Bulldogs.
Again, what they do, they put him in motion. He goes across the field from right to left or left to right, and try to throw him the short, quick one with the 2 blockers, the wide receivers out in front of him. That time, Martinsburg had it snuffed out pretty well, only a 1-yard gain.
From the Bulldog 21 on 2nd and 9 with 2 receivers each way, moving from left to right. Ball on the far side, hash mark. Pearson awaits that snap. Now looks like he's changing the play up just a little bit. The Dogs were showing blitz. They back out of it, and now here they come. Corbin rolling, far side. That's the short side. Throws underneath. Has an open receiver. Tiptoeing along the sideline. Spencer Powell makes that catch down at the 11. That's a 10-yard gain and another Jefferson 1st down.
That's a good job of just being able to pick out the receiver. He had plenty of time, and what they're doing, and they've done a good job of this, is rolling the quarterback, not having him sit in the pocket and look downfield. It's not that type of an offense. It's an offense in which the quarterback will roll out to one side or the other or just tuck it and go.
4 first downs in this opening possession for Jefferson. On 1st down from the 11, the give is to Diaz, and the running back inside of the 10, taken down at about the, well, we'll call it the 8-yard line, and that gain is good for 3. Diaz now with 3 carries for 11 yards. 2nd down and 7 coming. They can get a 1st down without getting into the end zone. 12th play of the possession, down to 6:35 on a running first quarter clock. This is just what the Jefferson Cougars wanted to do with this opening drive. There is the snap back and the handoff to Diaz. Oh, met in the hole and immediately taken down. Boy, that may be our collision of the game, at least early on it is. Tanner Lucas, 6'4", 380, the senior in the middle with that stop. No gain, no loss on the play.
Terrell Good also assisted on that one. They just stood him up right at the line of scrimmage. Big 3rd down play coming up, 3rd and 5.
With the football at the 7-yard line, back to throw Pearson, flush from the pocket, rolling near side, throws in the end zone, catch is made. It's a Jefferson touchdown as Antoine Lewis pulled it in, and for the first time this season, an opponent has scored in the opening quarter on the Martinsburg Bulldogs.
They did just a nice job of moving the football down the field. Martinsburg never really adjusted. It seems as though they were not just prepared. I'm sure he prepared in practice, but it seems as though Jefferson executed so well that they were able to get situations exactly where they wanted them. They got them outmanned a few times. So the extra point attempt coming up to kick is up, and it is good.
Now their place kicker is Orrin Humphreys. He's just a freshman. That PAT makes him now 13 of 16 in that category on the season. 5:52 to play in the first, and we take a break with Jefferson leading 7-0.
Hello, I'm Michael Falk, a lifelong resident of West Virginia, husband and father. I worked my way through school and life with honesty, hard work, and determination. These principles have served me well in athletics, education, farming, and aviation, and have carried me through years of fighting for a more accountable government at the local and state level. These same core principles will allow me to serve you well in Charleston. I believe true leadership is sticking your neck out for right, even when it goes against the establishment. You can help me put principle over politics and beat the odds one more time.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
We'll give you that Jefferson Drive summary after the ensuing kickoff. We'll also check in with Jason on the sideline. That's Diaz with the kick, just kicking the ball while laying on its side, and it's a squibber down the middle of the field, taken by Gerard Bowie at about the 18 along the far side hash mark, getting outside the numbers, breaking a couple of tackles, and then stepping out of bounds in Jefferson territory. Markham at about the 48. Well, the drive summary is brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution. Jefferson opens the game 13 plays, 73 yards, 6 minutes and 6 seconds, 7 yards on the touchdown pass. Patrick Corbin going to Antoine Lewis. 4th TD pass for Corbin Pearson, and just the first touchdown catch on the season for Lewis. 7-0 Jefferson, 5:43 to play, quarter number 1. Bulldog football starting at the 49-yard line of Jefferson. Handoff on the end around to Anthony Smith, breaking a tackle at the 43 between the hash marks and the near side numbers. Gets inside the 35, taken down at the 34-yard line. That gain is good for 15 yards and a Bulldog first down. We check in with Jason on the sideline. Reports brought to you by Mike Folk, for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible.
You know, Vic says game in and game out, the key to our opponents is to be able to keep the Martinsburg offense on. That was a great drive to start the game for Jefferson and do just that. We can limit Martinsburg's possessions.
Yeah, a very strong drive. If you can take 6 minutes off the clock and put points on the board, that is exactly what Craig Hunter wanted to see. Vic, they finished. All right, we talked about it in the pregame. They've had a tough time being able to, at times, finish drives. They finished that opening drive. Receiver screen to the far side, caught by Jarvis Thurston, weaving through some traffic, had the football knocked free, and let's see who's got it at the 25-yard line and scramble for it. And, yep, Jefferson does have the football. That looks to be number 2. That was Corbin Pearson who was able to come out of there. I believe I said Patrick Corbin is a pitcher for the Nationals. That's what Matt Crawford is telling me. It's Corbin Pearson who comes up with that fumble. Oh, boy. I knew something like that would happen the way this one was playing out. Still, that gain goes down to about the 25, so a 9-yard gain before the fumble by Thurston, and with 5:02 to play in the first quarter from their own 25-yard line. 1st and 10, a new possession for Jefferson, and a penalty marker down, and Martinsburg is in the neutral zone. Encroachment. Thank you to Jeff Zombro giving me the heads up last week as we continue to talk about it being offsides, saying it's not considered offside in the high school game. It's simply called encroachment. Same basic difference.
A little play on words, that's all.
Football gets moved out to the 30-yard line where it becomes a 1st down and 5. Handoff, Francis Diaz looking for some running room, keeps those legs churning, pushes his way forward. Eventually they will blow the play dead, but still a gain of about 2 to 3 yards.
One of the things I think that is kind of like a law that you can't enforce, so you let it go, and that is pushing the runner with the football, and that's at every level. It's legal. You see him in the NFL, guys 3 yards short of the first down, and then here comes a 300-pound lineman comes in and blast the paw and knock him forward 3 yards to get the first. And kind of what happened on that play.
That was a gain of 3, so 2nd and 2 coming from their own 33-yard line. New ball carrier now in the backfield. Corbin Pearson lifts the leg, takes the snap, looks to the near side, now throws back to the far side, and nobody is home. He was expecting a receiver to cut down the field, and both receivers cut towards the middle of the field. Gidney and Powell both cut inside instead of going outside. And we have a flag down.
That's intentional grounding. There's no receiver anywhere close.
They will call intentional grounding, a loss of down, and the football will get moved back to where the grounding came from, and then the penalty tacked on from there. So this is a huge loss all the way back to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's a big play right there. That's usually a drive stopper, so let's see what happens here. That's going to make a 3rd down situation. They'll move the ball all the way back to close to the, we'll call it the 21-yard line.
They've got to get out to...
Actually, it's 20-yard line.
Yeah, got to get out to the 35. So with the loss of down, it becomes a 3rd down and 15. Pearson out of the gun, taking the snap. Pocket collapses. Terrell Goods there. He's grabbing him, and the throw again goes out of bounds. Again, is there a receiver nearby? It does not appear that that is the case, and now we finally get the flag coming.
Right.
That'll be another intentional grounding. You cannot throw the football away on the high school level the same as you can on the higher levels, and they just waved off the flag. Let's check in with Jason, see what he could see down on the sidelines. I thought for sure we were going to get a grounding call. Jason.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, but I'm down here with Ashton. He says there was a receiver, according to the video, that was over there. I thought it was just people standing on the sidelines.
Yeah, I did as well. So one of those receivers kind of blending in.
There was a receiver, but he threw it away. But there was a receiver. It was legit.
Francis Diaz, who's also a tailback, punting the football away on 4th down, and it's Gerard Bowie taking it at the 48-yard line, coming near side, getting inside the 40, wrapped up and taken down at the 35-yard line. Nice special teams tackle for Jefferson's Lee Forshee. Just a sophomore listed as a wideout and a linebacker. So the Bulldog defense does its job. And now let's see if the offense can get something going.
So you make a couple mistakes, and now you give the ball back to Martinsburg at your 35-yard line with 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. And this will be also very big. We're at 3 minutes and 50 seconds ago. I know it's still early yet, but they have not scored here in the first quarter. And they've done something defensively that they haven't done all year, and that is give up a score in the first quarter.
And a forced turnover for Jefferson's defense against Martinsburg the first time the Dogs had it, and that is just the 3rd turnover they forced this year. Banks back to throw on 1st down, deep down the near sideline, looking for Anthony Smith. Overthrows him by a couple of yards. Good defense, John Gidney, as the junior defensive back was right there with him, stride for stride. 2nd and 10 coming for the Bulldogs from the 35-yard line in Jefferson territory. Just their 2nd offensive possession and just their 4th offensive play.
Well, those are the kind of plays you want to strike early, especially after getting good field position.
Trey Sign to the left of the quarterback, taking that handoff, and Sign wrapped up in the hole, drags the tackler forward for a gain of a couple. But nice defense along that front line for Chris Dyke. He is listed as a senior, 6'4", 289. That's D-Y-C-H-E. He makes that stop after just a 1-yard gain. They set it down at the 34. It's 3rd and 9. And the Bulldogs with 3 receivers, kind of tight together along the far side hash mark. Single receiver here to the near side. That's Dorn Smith. Sign to the left of the quarterback. Play coming in from the sideline. Play clock winding down. There is the snap back, and it is the quarterback keeper, and a nice job working his way down to the 25-yard line for Elijah Banks. Ball seemed to come out at the end of the play, but I think they're going to rule him down.
He was down. That's going to be enough for a 1st down. I think he got right to the 25-yard line, which is enough for the first. 2 minutes, 53 seconds to go here in the first quarter for those just tuning in. Jefferson leads it 7-0. 2nd possession offensively for Martinsburg as they do get the 1st down. 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the running clock, first quarter.
So the football at the 25, now a 1st and 10. The Bulldogs with their 2nd 1st down in this opening quarter. Gerard Bowie coming in motion from right to left, puts two receivers each way. Now Bowie going to go back the other way. They'll hand him the football on that jet sweep. Can he turn the corner to that far side? Yes, he can. Outside the number, spins away from a tackler, gets inside the 15, and then gets taken out of bounds down around the 12-yard line.
The Jefferson coaching staff is upset. I think they were asking for a holding over there on the far side.
Could have gotten it?
I think they could have. From my vantage point, could have gone. As they say, could have gone either way. That was mighty close.
They set it down actually at the 13, so that gain was good for 12. Another Bulldog first down. 1st and 10 from the 13. Pass over the middle on the slant. Caught by Gerard Bowie. He's in the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Good job by Elijah Banks on the play action, faking the give to sign, and then hitting Bowie with the quick pass.
Well, that's one thing he does well, and he throws that bullet pass across on that slant, but it's right on time, and it's right where it needs to be. Good catch and getting into the end zone.
So Martinsburg an extra point away from being able to tie this one up as they score on their second offensive possession. Chris Catlett on for that PAT. And before the snap back, there's movement by that Jefferson defensive front. They end up in the neutral zone. And let's see if Martinsburg will take that penalty and have them move the football forward. And it looks like they will. So Catlett will try the extra point more from the 7 or 8 yard line as opposed to the 10-yard line. Catlett very strong, 47 of 49 in PATs so far this season. He awaits that snap back. Trenton Sherman will look to get it down. There is the snap, the hold, the kick, and it is right down the middle. 2:17 to play, quarter number 1. We step aside, all tied up at 7.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com. Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Chris Catlett approaches, pops up a kick along the near side. That'll be a free football as it lands right on the sideline and then bounces out of bounds. Kai Walker, the closest to it for the Bulldogs, but it goes out at the 39-yard line, and it will belong to Jefferson. Drive summary for the Bulldogs, a service of Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-3361. 5 plays, 35 yards in a minute and 33 seconds. A Banks to Bowie touchdown pass from 13 yards out for Gerard Bowie. Touchdown catch number 12, and for Elijah Banks, touchdown pass number 26. So from their own 44-yard line, 1st and 10 for Jefferson. 2:17 to play in the opening quarter. And again, Martinsburg jumping into that neutral zone will be penalized. So 3 penalties now, 15 yards on Martinsburg. 1 for the kick out of bounds and 2 for encroachment. So now it's out to the 49, still in Jefferson territory. 1st down and 5. We'll check in with Jason on the sideline after this play. Sideline reports brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Find out more online. Folk, the number 4, WV.com. Out of the shotgun. Corbin Pearson awaiting that snap. He's got it. Will keep it on that quarterback draw. Kevon Warren, the linebacker, grabs him from behind. I believe it's Bryce Morris. No, that is Quentin Brown who had him in front. So a pair of linebackers tag teaming on the tackle. But, man, give Corbin Pearson some credit. 6'3", 200 pounds, and the senior pushed his way all the way down to the 44. Jason, what are you seeing from the sidelines?
Jefferson is doing a good job of taking advantage of, some missing personnel out here. Maybe they've even watched a little bit of the film last week on Salem and seen some of the things that Salem had success with because it looks very familiar.
Gain of about 7 yards down to that Bulldog 44, and on the snap of the football, we have whistle stopping play, and this time I believe it was Jefferson that moved early.
Yeah, procedure against Jefferson. 1 minute, 59 seconds ago here in the first quarter. And, yeah, we're talking about an offense here that, you put people in motion and move people a little bit. It makes it a little bit difficult sometimes for people if you haven't seen that type of an offense very much this year. You saw it a little bit last week, but not as much movement as you're seeing with this offense with a guy in motion nearly every play.
Jefferson will now face a 1st and 15 from the 49 of Martinsburg. 1:38 on a running first quarter clock. We're tied at 7. Man in motion going to that far side. He'll be a blocker as it's a straight-ahead run again for Corbin Pearson, and the running back able to get back down close to the 41-yard line, and that'll be a pickup of just about 7. So he gains back the 5 they lost on the penalty and a couple more. Mark it to the 41 now as they set it down. That's actually an 8-yard gain, and will bring up a very manageable 2nd and 7. Very tight formation here. Off balance to the left. Only wideouts. Spencer Powell along the near side. He went in motion towards the far side on that last play. Let's see if he does again, and there he goes. There is the snap back. This time the handoff to Diaz. He runs into the pile and then quickly gets taken down. That's the big fella inside again, 53, Tanner Lucas at 380, stuffing him right at the 40-yard line after a gain of just 1.
Yeah, you're right. He just simply blocked up that hole and the one beside of him. We're down to 25 seconds go in quarter number 1. I think that's going to be the last play of this first quarter, according to the way Jefferson's running their plays. Very methodical, so I think they're going to wait until the clock runs out. With a 7-7 ball game, if you're Jefferson, you got to feel very, very good about where you are right now.
Yeah, with 11 seconds and still winding on that clock, Jefferson already headed to the far sideline. Quarter number 2 coming up after this timeout at the end of 1. It's Martinsburg 7 and Jefferson 7.
Let's talk surf and turf. We all know Johnny's has great steaks. Ribeyes, New York strips, ranch, T-bones. But did you know Johnny's also has lobsters? That's right, lobsters. Pair any of our delicious steaks with our lobster items at Boom! Surf and Turf. Johnny's restaurant quality steak and lobster at wholesale prices and 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
Shirts, sheets, hand towels, bath towels, gym wear, underwear, or whatever wear. You can't skip laundry, but now you can skip adding detergent. Fill once and wash up to 40 loads. Select Whirlpool washers with Load and Go dispenser. Another way we're shaping the future of care.
Along with Vic Holmes, I'm Matt Miller. On the sideline, Jason Colrick. At the studio, Matt Crawford. Our on-site producer, Ash Gurry. Running cameras, Eric Sterick and Zach Van Meter. Tied at 7 as we get quarter number 2 underway. Jefferson now will move from right to left from the 40 in Martinsburg territory. They face a 3rd down and 6. Man in motion to the near side, puts 3 this way, back to throw. Pearson flushed, throws far side, and the pass incomplete. Threw that one off his back foot, looking back the other way, trying to get it to Antoine Lewis. Good coverage downfield by the Bulldogs and good pressure from the guys up front. So Corbin Pearson now 5 of 8 passing for 47 yards. Incomplete on his last 2 attempts as the Bulldogs have been able to put some pressure on. And that brings on Diaz to see what he can do to maybe pin Martinsburg deep.
That was Keon Warren and also Terrell Good who put the pressure on that time.
Well, Diaz gets that punt out of there. A bouncer at the 11-yard line takes a couple of huge skips, and it ends up into the end zone. Couldn't get any backspin on it. Instead, that end-over-end kick had that front bounce to it, and it ends up covering 40 yards with a net of only 20 as it comes out to the 20-yard line, and with 11:47 to play in the first half, Martinsburg will take over. It'll be their third offensive possession. Yep, just their third. And the Bulldogs, through their first two possessions, have run only 7 plays, turned it over on the second play of the opening possession, and then the last time they had it, covered 35 yards in 5 plays for a score. We're tied at 7. Banks out of the gun with a back to each side, taking that snap, handing it off to Kevon Warren. Stiff arm to get rid of a man in the backfield. Sidesteps another man, spins around and gets held up, and then eventually taken down on the play. Big loss. Nice job defensively for Jefferson's Jackie Walters, 6'1", 170. He's a junior linebacker. He was like a little bulldog right there. Got him by the ankle and would not let go.
Well, they had great pressure, great penetration that time by Jefferson, the defensive front. Thus far, Martinsburg has not been able, it seems like they're missing blocking assignments because there's guys coming through, seems like every play practically untouched.
That's a loss of 7 for Kevon Warren. This time they fake it to him, that little inside scissors play, if you will, and Trey Sign quickly gets wrapped up and taken down. Coming up out of there is Drake Sims at 6'2", 338, the junior defensive lineman, with the stop right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 17 coming from their own 13, and this possession going nowhere fast for the Bulldogs. Martinsburg did convert on a 3rd and 9 the last time they had it, 1 for 1 on 3rd downs, but this a little different animal. 3rd and about 17.
It's going to be interesting here. Martinsburg has an opportunity now to throw the ball down the middle of the field on post pattern. They've got a double team over here on this far side.
And there goes that deep ball down the middle looking for Anthony Smith. He's got it in stride at the 45-yard line. It's a foot race angling towards the near side between the hash marks and the numbers. And now into the end zone. Anthony Smith able to pull that one in from Elijah Banks and cover 87 yards.
Well, boy, that was a bad defensive set by Jefferson. That's what I was mentioning, the fact that they had a double team on the flanker on this near side. They had trip receivers or 3 receivers on the other side, man-to-man. And you're going to get beat on one of those 3 spots on the other side. I don't know why they were double teaming the least productive of the 3 receivers to this side. But that had touchdown written all over it, or least completion.
Touchdown.
87 yards. Anthony Smith's 3rd touchdown catch of the year, 27th touchdown pass of the season, and 2nd of the night for Elijah Banks. Extra point attempt for Catlett blocked. That may have been Brady Chrisman, 6'3", 210-pound linebacker, who leaped up and swatted down the PAT. 10:08 to play in our first half. Let's make it just a 30-second break, and then we come back. That Martinsburg lead over Jefferson now at 13-7.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
That drive summary is a service of Smallwood Small Insurance in Martinsburg. Auto, home, life, business, disability, retirement. Smallwood Small is your total insurance solution. Give them a call at 304-263-3361. For the Bulldogs, a 3-play, 80-yard drive in 1 minute and 39 seconds. An 87-yard touchdown pass from Banks to Anthony Smith. You say an 80-yard drive, but it was an 87-yard pass play. Play number 1 was a 7-yard loss. How do you answer that on a 3rd and long? An 87-yard score. Catlett with the ensuing kickoff taken at the 15-yard line, middle of the field. Quickly racing out across the 25 and bouncing off the pile was John Gidney, the third, and able to pick up another yard out to that 31-yard line. We check in again with Jason on the sideline. Reports brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor.
On that last black kick, I think the coaches were questioning whether or not the middle linebacker actually leaped over the top of the center on that. They looked at it and said it's an iffy call, but the referee said he'll be watching for that.
There you go. So the extra point attempt blocked has the Martinsburg lead at 13-7. Jefferson onto the field for their fourth offensive possession. This one starting at their own 31. Good start to this one for Corbin Pearson. He's got Francis Diaz to his left side. Snaps a little low. Nice job as Pearson was still able to go down, get it, and hand it off. And Diaz running to his right picks up about 2 as they'll give him that 33-yard line. Martinsburg may be beginning to settle in just a little bit after the very lengthy opening drive that saw Jefferson go 73 yards in 13 plays and need 6 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock. On 2nd and 8 from their own 33, 2 receivers each way. Pearson's got it, throwing, quick slant, tipped up into the air, tipped a second time, and then eventually incomplete. Anthony Smith and Kevon Warren both were there on the pass intended for John Gidney. Kevon Warren tipped it first, and then it looked like as Warren and Smith were going after it, they knocked each other off the football.
Tough one that time. Big third down play coming up. This is third, a little longer than usual, 3rd and 8. 9:22 to go in the first half of the football game. 13-7. Martinsburg leads it.
And now 3 straight incompletions for Corbin Pearson. He's got that shotgun snap. He's throwing deep along that far side, and that pass is going to carry him out of bounds as Kevon Warren actually intercepted it as he was able to make that grab with John Gidney right there. But the ball carried them both out of bounds, and it should be incomplete. Although, hang on, do we have a penalty marker down?
The official's going to the referee. I believe there must be one on the other side. Maybe somebody lined up offside or whatever. We'll see.
Or perhaps it's just a sideline warning. The flag, it was down at about the 43. So
sideline warning against Jefferson.
Oh, no warning.
No. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, they are marking the 5-yard penalty off at the end of that incompletion, apparently.
Wow. So apparently they've had the warning.
I don't remember seeing it.
They didn't give it. Maybe it was given and we missed it or whatever, but it was never designated by the referee. Let's put it that way. At least we did not see it.
So that means Diaz will look to punt it out of there. The football going to be snapped back at the 28-yard line. Diaz does get that kick out taken at the 41-yard line by Gerard Bowie. Coming near side, gets a huge block, and he is down the near sideline and into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. He pulled that one in, they'll say officially, at the 42-yard line. So a great return that will come after about a 32-yard punt, and the return will go about 58 yards for the score.
The big yell that you may have heard over the PA system or the crowd there was a great block by Anthony Smith. And I'll tell you, that's one of those that's very close to the old, what we call the old crackback block, and those are very, very close. As official, you have to make a decision on whether or not the guy was turning around just as the block is being made, or he had time to turn around to be able to see the block. So 2-point attempt coming up here for Martinsburg. We'll see what happens here.
Gerard Bowie does it again. I don't see why anybody punts to him the rest of the year. That's his 5th punt return touchdown of the season. Man in motion is Gerard Bowie, rolling near side Elijah Banks, and he underthrew him. Had him open, but threw it into the ground and in behind Gerard Bowie, and with the incompletion, Martinsburg cannot get the 2-point conversion. 8 minutes, 59 seconds remaining in our first half, and we'll take a break with Martinsburg's lead now, 19-7.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. he has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Chris Catlett with the ensuing kick. That is Gidney on the return. Up the middle of the field. Gets hit by Anthony Smith and taken down across the 25. Mark him close to the 27. That last score for the Bulldogs, a 58-yard punt return for Gerard Bowie. And another candidate for the collision of the game on that big block for Anthony Smith. The collision of the game brought to you by Cody's Body Shop, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Find them online at codysauto.com. That's COTYS auto.com, or phone 304-901-4777.
Well, Anthony Smith has shown up big already in this football game with 8:53 to go in the first half. Defensively, offensively, special teams, he's really been shining here thus far.
First down and 10 from their own 26. Quick pass near side, catch made by Gidney, but on that wide receiver screen, he is met and taken down by the Bulldogs. I believe that is Braxton Todd.
That's going to be actually a loss of yardage on that play.
Yeah, so the wide receiver screen caught by Gidney, but again, will lose a couple of yards back to the 24-yard line. So after 4 straight incompletions, the completion for Corbin Pearson, but loses 2. 2nd and 12 coming. 2 receivers each way. Ball on the near side hash mark. Dogs showing blitz. Here they come. Handoff to Diaz. A little stutter step in the backfield. Squeezes through a hole over the left side of the line and will get out to about the 29-yard line. Nice gain, close to 5.
Yeah, but he was coming right at us, Matt. I thought maybe if he just go ahead and bust that hole, boy, he could have squirted out of there and might have had a long run on that play. So another big third down coming up. 3rd down and 7. This is 3rd and long. 7:45 to go, first half. 19-7. Martinsburg leads it.
By the way, Michael Turner on that stop for the Bulldogs. 7:37 and counting in this first half. 19-7 Martinsburg. Diaz going to switch from the right to the left side of the quarterback. Corbin Pearson awaiting the shotgun snap, slaps the hands together. He's got it. Now flush from the pocket, rolling far side, looking, eventually lets it go deep and overthrows everyone, incomplete. Trying to get that one to John Gidney, the junior wide receiver, well covered. And that was a case, I think, where Corbin just as much getting that one out of there as anything else.
Yes, he did. Smart play that time. He didn't have anything there. He threw the ball away without, obviously, another intentional grounding.
Micah Selman, good pressure.
Yes. And this is something that they've done here lately. The last 2 series, they've gotten Jefferson out of the rhythm of their offense.
Once again, to punt the football out of there, Diaz. A very short drop, if you will, for a punter. He's not even, 8 yards, maybe 9 yards back.
Let's see what he does here. There's Bowie back here to receive the punt. Let's see what they do.
Snap back, and he just angles it here to the near side and kicks it practically into the stands. That one was coming right towards us, Vic. I think they're going to mark it at about the 39-yard line. The official on the near side still coming down, and we called it.
You were right on the nose. You got it exactly.
10 yards on that punch. Yeah, that one was angling. If he could have got enough height, you or I could have maybe caught that one. It was coming right at us. But there's what Gerard Bowie does. Okay, I don't want to kick it to him, so you end up with a 10-yard punch.
Exactly. You have a terrible kick, and you end up putting yourself in a bad situation. So 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of Hedgesville. Jefferson.
Elijah Banks taking the snap, handing it off. Kevon Warren turns the corner on the right side. Good downfield block by Dorn Smith. There's nobody there. Warren into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown, 39 yards.
We have a flag down. We have a holding call against Martinsburg.
Wow. The hold coming at the 30-yard line. And the coaching staff for Martinsburg wanting to know exactly what it was. The official seems to give the indication that he had him by the jersey up inside of the shoulder pads. That will come about 9 yards into that run, so Kevon Warren will still get credit for at least the 9 yards, but minus 10 from there on the hold. Will back him up and nullify the touchdown. I got Martinsburg now at 4 penalties for 25 yards in this first half.
Just under 7 minutes here in the second quarter. 19-7, Martinsburg leads it. Tough play, tough blow on that play. Here's a second down call.
Well, first down and 11, and the handoff again to Kevon Warren, and Warren able to get down the near sideline along the numbers to the 20-yard line, grabbed from behind and dragged down by one of the defensive linemen who was able to catch up with him. It looks like Jeffrey Chesang, who ended up reaching up and grabbing him. No, pardon me, that's a 56, not a 58. Chris Dyke, who got him by the back of the jersey and the shoulder pads, and that's a horse collar tackle. They brought him down at the 20, so a 20-yard gain there for Kevon Warren, and then the penalty gets marked off half the distance to the goal, which will put it down to the 10-yard line. So first down, and I believe they're going to mark it just outside of the 10, so the Dogs could get a first down without officially getting into the end zone. Snap is back, and the handoff to Trey Sign. Sign to his right, got in behind the blocking, let it set up, and then finds the hole to the end zone. That's a nice piece of running and a good piece of blocking.
I'm trying to get that number because that was a great block that time. Good shield block. Didn't have to do a whole lot, just kind of got in front of him and just drove him backwards.
Trey Sign picks up his 4th rushing touchdown on the season.
Jacob Zittel finally got his number. Great block.
Extra point attempt will come off the foot of Catlett after he had one blocked earlier, and then the Bulldogs failed on a 2-point conversion. They'll go for the single point here. Snaps a little high, rolling to the near side. Trenton Sherman lofts it into the end zone and incomplete. Was looking to get that one to, I believe, Braxton Todd in the back near corner of the end zone. And with the incompletion, the 2-point conversion fails. 6 minutes, 28 seconds left in our first half. We take a break. Martinsburg in front, 25-7.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Chris Catlett with the ensuing kickoff, taken at the near side 11-yard line. That is Gidney again, racing to the middle of the field, turning it up across the 20 and the 25, and gets spun down out close to the 26-yard line. And I'm looking at the number coming off. Is that a 5-0? It looks like it is. Isaiah Salinas on the special teams tackle.
Good job along with Sign. 6 minutes and 21 seconds go here in the first half. 25-7, Martinsburg leads it. And a couple good things have happened in this ball game here, Matt. Number one, Martinsburg's been scored on the first quarter. I think it's a good thing. You know, it's one of those monkeys you get off your back. Secondly, first time they've been behind all year. Another monkey off their back.
1st and 10 from their own 27. Snap is back. Handoff Diaz off the right side. Powers his way through that tackle of Bryce Morris out close to the 32-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5 and set up a 2nd down and 5.
Jefferson runners run well, run hard, straight ahead. And, you know, they've done a good job of that thus far.
I've got 9 carries, 27 yards so far in this one for Francis Diaz, their leading rusher, 614 yards on 129 carries coming in. That's 4.76 a carry. Man in motion near side. Going to be kept here by Pearson, and he will weave his way through a little opening. Taken down by one of the Bulldog linebackers. I believe Bryce Morris one more time on that tackle. It was Morris, but let's see. That gain is going to be good enough for the first down as he gets all the way out to the 37. He needed 5, and he got 5. So first and 10 coming. Trying to keep the possession and march their way down the field. Jefferson now trailing 25-7 after at one point leading by a 7-0 score. That is their first down since that opening drive when they gave 6 minutes off the clock and scored. Kevon Warren making the tackle after the handoff to Francis Diaz. Diaz going to the far sideline where Warren eventually gets him out and brings him down. They'll set it at the 41 and the pickup good for 4.
Well, they're doing a pretty good job as far as at least getting 3 or more yards per carry. It seems as though it's got to continue to do that. Martinsburg has got to come up with that play in which there's a no-gainer, there's a lost yardage type of play. While Jefferson taking their time getting a play from the sideline.
There is the snap back and straight ahead running for the quarterback, that QB draw for Corbin Pearson. Then the 6'3", 200-pounder pushes out close to the 44-yard line. That gain will be good for 3 and will bring up a 3rd and 3.
Officials have got to get a little bit better handle on blowing this whistle and calling plays dead. We're starting to see a little bit more pushing and shoving because they're not sure when the play is over. Big 3rd down play coming up here with 3:55 to go in the first half.
Yeah, they need to sustain this drive.
Yes.
Martinsburg has been scoring pretty quickly these last few possessions they've had it. There is the snap back, handoff to Diaz, hitting the hole, and he goes nowhere.
They're going to give him maybe a yard at most on this play. Good defensive job there.
Yeah, one of the big guys inside. That's Tanner Lucas again.
Tanner Lucas along with Bryce Morrison there on the tackle.
And who's the last Bulldog coming off the bottom of the pile? Is that 74? Yes, it is Micah Selman. So, yeah, the big guys up front really doing the job.
It's going to bring up a 4th down, and it looks like Jefferson's keeping their offense out there on the field. 3:15 to go.
There was a gain of 2. So it brings up a 4th down and about 1 with the football at the 46.
You know, Matt, he could make it here. They could get this first down, but I would be punting the football. I'm going to tell you now.
Awaiting that snap back. Pearson barking out those signals now, looking to the far sideline. I think they were trying to get Martinsburg to jump. 11 seconds on the play clock, down to 10. Down now to 7. Still looking to the far sideline, down to 4. And, yep, I think we're going to get the timeout. And there it is, timeout just before the play clock expires, so no delay penalty. 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in our first half. We'll take a 30-second break and then return to Coburn Field with Martinsburg leading Jefferson 25-7.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
Well, you may catch a little of the conversation at the end of our 30-second break. Vic and I trying to figure out, okay, what do you do? And it's a tough call right now for Craig Hunter and his staff. Your last punt went for 10 yards. The punt before that got returned 58 yards for a touchdown. So you're kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't. I don't really want to punt, but if I don't get it, I give Martinsburg pretty good field position. It looks like out of the timeout, they will go for it on the 4th and 1, and it's the quarterback keeper, and let's see if he got it or not. It looks like he did. Yeah, our official from the far side had a better angle than we did because the pile of people we just could not see, and Corbin Pearson was able to get out to the 48-yard line. He picks up 2 and a huge first down.
Yeah, that's a gamble I still would not take. I think I'm still in the ball game at 25-7, and you got the ball on your side of the field. That's really taking a big chance. Yeah, I think you're lessen your chance of coming back and winning in this ball game. They were successful with it, but I wouldn't second guess myself. I would have punted that one away.
This will be the 32nd offensive play for Jefferson in this first half. The Bulldogs have run 13. Corbin Pearson taking that snap, rolling to the near side, and eventually going out of bounds. Kept looking for a lane where he could cut it up the field, but that lane never developed, and a good decision just to get out of bounds. He'll take the loss of about a yard.
That stops the clock with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go. Now, Martinsburg's going to be should be pinning their ears back and getting prepared. And it depends upon what Jefferson wants to do. Are they really going to try to score here, or are they going to try to hold on to the football and keep Martinsburg from scoring? Because both teams have 3 timeouts, and Martinsburg can use those timeouts if they have a play that stays in bounds.
Jefferson using one of their timeouts just before that fourth down decision. So, yep, they do have 2. Not that they necessarily want to stop it unless they get into better scoring position. Dogs showing blitz. Let's see if they come. There is the quick throw. The catch is made right at the midfield stripe. And on that reception, once again, is Nathaniel Mule, and he is taken down immediately by Anthony Smith. That gain is good for 3 yards, and now the Bulldogs do burn a timeout to try to preserve some time with 1:52 to play in the half.
Yeah, Buddy Hessen right out there on the field, the defensive coordinator calling the timeout. Smart move, the Martinsburg bench, because you got 2 more timeouts left. This is 3rd down coming up, and they got decision time again. Martinsburg, with their offense, they can play without timeouts. They've got the big play capability.
Yep. Well, Vic, let's talk a little college football. The Mountaineers are off tomorrow, but on TV 10, we'll have the Shepherd Rams visiting Millersville. These teams haven't met since the 2006 and then 2007 seasons, but you may remember some of those matchups back in the 90s when Millersville was the toast of the town and tended to take it to Shepherd. Now it seems to be the other way around.
Shoes on the other foot now. Yeah, they used to be pretty darn tough. It was like a mercy killing, and they would just really take it to us, pretty much so. And Shepherd has come a long way. I mean, every now and then we'd have to play 1 or 2 of those Pennsylvania Conference teams, and then especially if you got into the playoffs, you always ran into 1 or 2 of those teams, and boy, I tell you, it was just usually a beatdown.
Yeah, injuries as well as the loss. All right, here we go. 3rd down and 8 from the midfield stripe for Jefferson. Out of that Martinsburg timeout. Here's a screen in the flat on the right side. Diaz able to elude the initial tackler and dive back to the midfield stripe. That is it. And it will bring up a 4th down and long, and I believe Martinsburg is going to go ahead and burn another timeout. They want to stop that clock with 1 minute and 46 seconds left. And now you got to imagine the punting unit will have to come on. Jefferson going to face what would be a 4th down and 8. You don't want to give Martinsburg the football right at midfield.
Right. You see that your offense is starting to fail right now. Martinsburg's making some adjustments defensively. They're clogging up the holes, making you bounce it out a little bit wider, and Martinsburg using their speed, getting to the outside and taking care of those guys out there trying to get to the outside. And it's a mismatch as far as speed is concerned. So they've done the best thing they can do, Martinsburg has, using the 2 timeouts and forcing the 4th down situation.
You mentioned those adjustments, Vic. You go back to that initial 6-minute scoring drive. They were 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They're now 3 of 8, so 0 of 5 on their last 3rd down conversion attempts. That's a 3rd and 6, a 3rd and 8, a 3rd and 7, a 3rd and 3, and now this one was a 3rd and 8. So Pearson is in there. Looks like he will, Diaz is in there and looks like he will punt the football away. Francis Diaz, the running back, also a punter, and now a timeout for Jefferson. Just before the snap of the football, head coach Craig Hunter will call for a timeout. I want to say hi to Moses Greenberg, David Simpson, joining us for the broadcast this evening through YouTube. We welcome you, whether you are listening at Talk Radio WRNR or watching through TV 10. here in Berkeley and Jefferson counties, or again through our WRNR TV page on YouTube. Glad that you could spend a little of your Friday evening with us. Enjoy this opportunity. Hard to believe we are in week 9 of the season.
Yeah, and they're 8-0 is Martinsburg. If you're 0-8, this is a long season.
Now Jefferson 1-6 coming into this one, hoping they could find a way to do what they did back in 2007, beat Martinsburg. That's the last time an EPAC team has been able to handle the Bulldogs. The punt is away, and it will bounce along the far side and then be grabbed by a Bulldog. I am not sure. Let me keep an eye on him, see if I can get the number. Was that Kevon Warren? It was. Warren was coming down the field looking to help block, but that ball kind of bounced back toward him. He grabbed it at the 27 and gets taken down there. So that punt for Diaz will cover just about 23 yards and no return. And Martinsburg still with time, 1:37 to play in the first half. Let's see what they can do from their own 27-yard line. They have scored each of the last 3 times they have had the football. Back to throw. Banks coming near side, trying to get that one to Gerard Bowie. Bowie holding his hand at the end of that one. Understand Bowie suffered a finger injury about a week and a half ago during practice, and that apparently still bothering him as he comes off the field.
He's holding that finger again, holding that hand.
With the incompletion from the 27-yard line, still in Martinsburg territory, 2nd and 10.
Boy, he had Anthony Smith open there, and Anthony just on basically a fly pattern. In other words, just straight down the field, just ran right past his man, but the ball had already been thrown, so it wasn't like he missed him. He just simply got open late.
Banks taking the shotgun snap, looking here to the near side. There's that out pattern. A diving attempt. Did he make the grab? Yes, he did. Anthony Smith able to get his hands underneath the football, making the catch at the 37. That should be enough for a first down.
Apparently not. They did not signal, so he must be short.
Oh, now they are signaling.
Well, they ran about 7 or 8 seconds off the clock before they did such. That's why I thought it was short of the first down. Now they do measure, and not the measure, but say it is a first down.
Yeah, that game was good for 10 yards, 119 yards, 4 of 6 passing for Banks in the first half on first down. Banks is back to throw, looking down the middle. Penalty marker is down. Has an open man, Dorn Smith. Diving attempt inside the 30, but can't quite come up with it. Now we'll wait and see what the penalty marker is.
I'll tell you right now, it's going to be holding right here. Dorn Smith got held. He got spun around before. I'll tell you, he gave a great effort that time trying to get to that one. He gave everything on that one. He got a little shook up as he's coming off. He's taking his helmet off his head.
So holding on the defense, and they will mark that one from the prior spot. That will be the 10-yard penalty out to the 47-yard line, and Martinsburg will have it 1st and 10 from there. I've got 6 penalties, 45 yards now in this first half on Jefferson.
We've got 1:09 to go. Plenty of time. The ball's at the 47-yard line of Jefferson.
Banks to throw. Lofts it deep over the middle, looking for Anthony Smith. He's got it at the 20, and there he goes down the middle of the field into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. What a well-thrown ball from Elijah Banks, lofting it up and right into the arms of Smith. Second time they have connected on a long pass play. The first one for 87 yards. This one covers 53.
Well, you can't throw much better than that. I'll tell you, Anthony Smith ran right by him, had a step on him, and that ball was in a position where either Anthony Smith's going to catch it or it's going to drop incomplete.
Single point conversion attempt coming for Chris Catlett. Vic, there's still more than a minute on that clock.
Exactly.
They took over with 1:34.
It just can strike so quickly.
Snap is back. Sherman gets it down. Kick is up, and Chris Catlett puts it through. 1:01 to play in our first half. We step aside. Martinsburg now out in front, 32-7.
Over? It's not over until we say it's over. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? No!
After an eternity in the cold trenches filled with the sinew of flesh.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Men have to dig down deep and grab a hold of anything they can for motivation.
Let's go!
Rock's Coffee, a great pick-me-upper.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, the kickoff coming, and that looks to be Sam Duffy with that kickoff, and the return again for Gidney. He gets an opening up the middle of the field. He's into the clear across the midfield stripe, angling to the near side between the hash marks and the numbers, gets caught from behind and taken down at the 32. Kai Walker combining with the kicker, Sam Duffy, as they make that tackle, and now Jefferson has great field position. 48 seconds left, and they'll have it at the Martinsburg 32.
Not good coverage that time by Martinsburg. I could see guys get out of line, and when you're going down the field and you're on the kickoff team, you've got to go straight down the field. You know, we protect those areas to our left and to our right, so you got to stay in your lane. If you get knocked out of your lane, you get blocked out of your lane, that's when the gaps open up and guys get long runs.
Better than 50 yards on that kick return, setting up Jefferson down 32-7. 48 seconds left from the Bulldog 32. Corbin Pearson awaiting the shotgun snap. It comes back to him. He looks far side, now looks near side, now flush from the pocket. Trey Sign trying to get to him, and a kind of sidearm shuffle type of pass that is incomplete going into the Martinsburg bench. There was a receiver nearby at about the 20-yard line along the near sideline, and that intended target, Isaiah Fritz, he's a freshman. Goes 5'8", 133.
Got a break on that one. It's a correct call. He actually just got by on that one. He had a guy who was in the general area.
Yeah. But that was it. The general area. 8 of 15 passing. 48 yards in this first half for Pearson. Awaiting the shotgun snap here. 41.5 seconds on the clock. 2 receivers each way. Pearson hit as he let it go. Deep ball near side and incomplete. Trying to get that one again to Fritz. The freshman reaching out for it with his left hand, but could not get it on the football.
Good pressure that time by the Martinsburg defense up front and put a good shot on him.
And nice coverage then by Braxton Todd on the backside as well.
That was Terrell Good, who hit him just as he released that one. 34.6 seconds remaining in the first half. 32-7, Martinsburg leads it. And you got to be careful here. You don't want to make a mistake and get a fumble. That's backfield in motion there.
Back to throw. There's that little underneath pass. It is caught by Diaz, able to get a couple of blocks, weaving through some traffic. Looked like he tripped on his own man and goes down at about the 23-yard line. That gain will be good for 9 yards.
Clock running, 15 seconds to go. It's going to be 4th down play. Jefferson's really going to have to hustle here if they want to get another playoffs. He's still getting a play from the sideline.
I'm wondering that
4th down, and we're down. The clock's running out.
I've got one timeout. They're going to burn it.
Oh, gee whiz. Why would you wait that long?
I guess they want to make sure that this is the final play of the half. I mean, it is 4th down. You either get whatever you're going to get here, whether you go for the end zone. I think it's too far for a field goal, having watched their freshman kicker Orrin Humphreys in pregame warm-ups. Humphreys 2 for 5 on field goals. Does have a long of 31, but we'd be talking about 38-39 from here.
39-yard field goal attempt on an angle, number 1. And number 2, 3 points is not going to help you at this point. You know, I think you got to go for the score on this. Yeah, I think they had a chance for 2 plays. Now they're just going to get this one.
It'll be 4th down and 1 as they come to the football. Thanks to our sponsors, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Panhandle Dumpsters, Mirius Group, and Ameriprise Financial, Miller's Honda, Johnny's, Bechtel Jewelers, Parsons Ford, WVU Medicine University Healthcare, J&P Service and Repair, and Brown Funeral Homes.
Speaking of field goals,
here we go.
This is going to be a 40-yard attempt.
So the 40-yard field goal attempt will come for the freshman. Orrin Humphreys. He's a left-footed kicker. Not real big, 5'4", 120. It'll come out of the hold of the quarterback, Corbin Pearson, so watch for a fake. The snap is back, placement down, kick on the way. It is accurate, but it is short. Did not get enough on it. And on the final play of the first half, Martinsburg dodging a bullet as Jefferson misses on the 40-yard field goal. Let's check in with Jason on the sideline as he looks to talk with Martinsburg head coach David Walker.
Coach, real quick, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, I mean, I come out flat, I think. Jefferson's got a good plan, milking the clock and doing some things, but yeah, we're just not playing with a lot of enthusiasm right now.
After that first drive, it seemed like your defense did settle in and start to slow them down, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're still pretty good even when we're not playing with a lot of enthusiasm. But I'd like to see us play with a little more sense of urgency.
All right, Coach. We'll talk to you after the game. Thanks.
There you go, Jason Colrick on the sideline with reports brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Find out more online at folk4wv.com. Coach Walker and the team heading into the locker room at the half. Martinsburg out in front of Jefferson, 32-7. A 2-minute timeout. We'll come back to Coburn Field on senior night. We'll get our halftime activities underway as we get some analysis before sending it back to the studio. Matt Crawford with our halftime scoreboard show. It is all coming your way after this timeout. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Black dogs on 3! 1, 2, 3, black dogs! Who let the dogs out?
It's time for today's halftime show. We'll recap the scoring, bring you first half stats and analysis, and check in on the action around the Eastern Panhandle and the Mountain State with the out-of-town scoreboard. So let's return to the field and get things started with our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
The Martinsburg High Marching Band entertaining the crowd here at the half as we welcome you back into Coburn Field. Senior night, and the Martinsburg Bulldogs looking to send those seniors out in style with a 32-7 halftime lead. Along with Vic Holmes, I'm Matt Miller, Jason Colrick on the sideline. Matt Crawford standing by back at the studio. Eric Sterick, Zach Van Meter running cameras, and Ash Gurry, our on-site producer. Well, Vic, a slow start for Martinsburg. Jefferson taking the opening possession, 6 minutes and 6 seconds, 73 yards, and put the first quarter points on the board all season long against the Bulldogs. You said as we went into the break, at that moment you thought, we've got ourselves a game. No, Martinsburg after that kind of does what Martinsburg does, right? They score on each of their next 4 offensive possessions, add in a special teams touchdown on a punt return. The defense makes some adjustments, and after that opening drive, gives up only about 3 more first downs the rest of the way, and the Dogs in command at the intermission, 32-7.
Well, I'm sure some of these people were thinking, boy, we're really playing poorly here tonight because we only have 32 points on the board. And and they scored in the first quarter, and we were behind, and blah, blah, blah. It's a game, and that's what happens. Jefferson came and played with some enthusiasm. They did some good things. They did some things offensively that we have not seen, this team, that is, defensively, have not seen this year. And that was, I think, probably the biggest emphasis was get some motion out there, get some people moving around, and get the ball in the hands of your quarterback, your best player, and let him try to make some plays. And he made several plays in this ball game, especially in this first quarter. But then the game starts to settle in, and the superior team and players started to show up, and Martinsburg started then shutting down the offense, shutting them down a little bit more. They had a little bit of success with a couple short passes, and Martinsburg shut those down as well. So now it comes to everything is really, really tough to get. Yardage is hard to come by now, and they're getting a little bit desperate. And like a lot of other teams, when you get behind, it's tough picking up and trying to get back in the ball game. It's not one of these things where you want to try to save face here, try to get the score closer. You're still always trying to win, and you know, Jefferson's going to have to come back in the second half here, and probably, especially if Martinsburg scores again, forget about the score of the game, go back and try to get back to your game plan, and virtually, and this sounds crazy, but you're working on next week, because there's not anything you can do with tonight's game if you get behind by at least one more score.
32-7 is the Martinsburg lead. Oh, by the way, Martinsburg gets the football to start the second half, and it could really put a nail in the coffin, if you will, on that opening drive.
Yeah, and they have to kick it to them.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah, that special teams has been just that, special this season, and especially as of late for the Bulldogs. All right, we'll find out how this first half played out. Matt Crawford has highlights, and he'll bring you up to date on what's happening around the EPAC and the Mountain State, all on our halftime scoreboard show at the intermission at Coburn Field. Martinsburg leads Jefferson 32-7.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're a part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out of there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
Welcome back into the Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 studios. Matt Crawford here with you for the halftime scoreboard show. 32-7, your halftime score senior night out at Coburn Field. Well, it was Jefferson taking the early 7-0 lead. Corbin Pearson to Antoine Lewis from 5 yards out, 7-0 after the first drive of the football game. Then it was Elijah Banks finding Gerard Bowie from 13 yards out. That would tie the game at 7 apiece, and that would be the final score after the first quarter of action. Going into quarter number 2, all Martinsburg. On a third and long, Elijah Banks to Anthony Smith, 87 yards on the catch and run. Good throw by Banks, good catch and run by Smith. 13-7 at that point. Then it was a 58-yard punt return for a touchdown. Another one for Gerard Bowie. A missed 2-point conversion, trying to make up for the missed extra point on the Anthony Smith touchdown catch. 19-7 at that point in the second quarter. Then Trey Sign would bounce off a few tacklers, take it 11 yards to the house for a touchdown. Another missed 2-point conversion, more of a missed extra point on a bobbled snap, but 25-7 at that point. And then it was a 53-yard pass from Banks to Anthony Smith to close out the scoring in half number one from out at Martinsburg High School. 32-7, your halftime score. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from half number one, Jefferson and Martinsburg.
Football at the 7-yard line. Back to throw, Pearson, flush from the pocket, rolling near side, throws in the end zone, catch is made. It's a Jefferson touchdown as Antoine Lewis pulled it in, and for the first time this season, an opponent has scored in the opening quarter on the Martinsburg Bulldogs. 1st and 10 from the 13, pass over the middle on the slant, caught by Gerard Bowie. He's in the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Here on this far side.
And there goes that deep ball down the middle looking for Anthony Smith. He's got it in stride at the 45-yard line. It's a foot race angling towards the near side between the hash marks and the numbers. And now into the end zone. Anthony Smith able to pull that one in from Elijah Banks and cover 87 yards. Football going to be snapped back at the 28-yard line. Diaz does get that kick out taken at the 41-yard line by Gerard Bowie. Coming near side, gets a huge block, and he is down the near sideline and into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. He's back, and the handoff to Trey Sign. Sign to his right, got in behind the blocking, let it set up, and then finds the hole to the end zone. That's a nice piece of running and a good piece of blocking. Banks taking the shotgun snap, looking here to the near side. There's that out pattern. A diving attempt. Did he make the grab? Yes, he did. Anthony Smith able to get.
And welcome back into the Halftime Scoreboard Show. Sorry you had the mouse stick on the computer here, but 32-7, your halftime score after a good second quarter offensively and defensively the entire game by the Martinsburg Bulldogs. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the scores from around the Eastern Panhandle and AAA updates from the half from around the Mountain State. That coming up next in the Halftime Scoreboard Show. This is West Virginia High School football on TV 10 and Talk Radio WRNR.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Time to take a look at some scores from around the Eastern Panhandle and the Mountain State on the Halftime Scoreboard Show. Starting in the Eastern Panhandle, it was Musselman down in Washington tonight, just south of Charlestown. At the half, it's the Appleman over the Patriots, 35-15. We're scoreless in the Spring Mills Parkersburg game. 2 4-3 teams battling it out in the opposite part of the state tonight, and that updated via the Max Preps page for the Big Reds right now in the second quarter. But so far, a defensive battle. And Hedgesville and North Hagerstown, it was a tighter game at the half than it is right now. That game already well into quarter number 3. It was 21-7 North Hagerstown up at the half, but the Hubs have dominated the second half so far. Now in the third quarter, 41-10 8-13 is North Hagerstown's lead. And the reason they're so far into that third quarter of action, that game's starting at 6 o'clock tonight. So that will definitely be over. We'll be able to give you a final of that one in the Extra Point post-game show. But again, at the half, it is Martinsburg up 32-7 over Jefferson. Musselman up at the half 35-15 over the Washington Patriots. Spring Mills and Parkersburg are tied up at 0 in the second quarter. And right now in the third quarter, it's 41-13 North Hagerstown over Hedgesville. Let's take a look at some of the other games going on around AAA in the Mountain State tonight. We'll have AAA, AA, and Single A scores in the Extra Point post-game show before taking you to Washington Nationals baseball. It's number 2 Cavill Midland taking on number 8 Huntington tonight. That game tied at 7 in the second quarter. Parkersburg South up 21-3 over number 7 Greenbrier East at the half. Number 9 George Washington taking on number 10 Riverside. In the second quarter, it's GW up 21-0. Number 13, Capital all over Woodrow Wilson in the second quarter, 28-0. Capital looking to get back to the 500 mark right now, 3-4. Morgantown pulling a little bit of the upset right now. A good offensive first half over John Marshall, 41-21. The Mohegans just 1-7 on the year, looking to pull the upset of John Marshall, who right now is number 14 in this week's WVSSAC playoff rankings. Number 15, Hurricane, being shut out in the first half so far by South Charleston. Hurricane number 15 in this week's rankings at 3-5. Right behind them is number 16, Ripley, who is 3-4. They have a 21-7 lead over Princeton. That game at the half. Brooke is up at the half, 13-0 over Buchanan Upshur. And the last AAA game going on tonight is Preston and University. And the Knights at home over the Hawks, 14-7. That's Preston up at the half over University. Well, that's going to wrap up our halftime show from back at the studio with the highlights and scores from around the Mountain State. Again, get the full game highlights and not only these scores from around the Eastern Panhandle and AAA across the state, but also the finals from Double and Single A coming up in the Extra Point post-game scoreboard show. Before we send you back out to Matt and Vic, an update for those of you that were trying to find the Washington Nationals Game 3 of the World Series on our radio airwaves tonight. We will join that game in progress after the conclusion of our football coverage tonight. In the bottom of the first with 2 outs, bases empty, it is Houston 0, Washington 0, Anthony Rendon up at the plate right now. Another 2-minute break to take, then we'll send you back out to the broadcast crew at Coburn, Matt, Vic, and Jason. That coming up next. Again, at the half, it's 32-7 Martinsburg up over Jefferson. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
Hey football fans, it's your friendly alarm professional, Ben Copenhaver with Dynamark Atlantic Security. Who do you trust to keep your family and valuables safe? Integrity, trust, and professionalism are all reasons why Dynamark is the choice for home and business security in the Eastern Panhandle. Dynamark is proud to serve the community and be your first choice for alarm solutions. Don't become a statistic of crime today. Phone Dynamark Security to protect your tomorrow. Phone 304-671-2158.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Medical malpractice. Call the Joe Ferretti Law Office at 304-596-8854 for a free consultation. Well, Vic, right now it's time for us to take a look at the numbers from the first half. They're a service of Dobson and Associates, PLLC, providing all your back office needs, including accounting, payroll, and human resources. They want to be your back office. Phone 304-264-0437 or stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg. Let's begin with Jefferson. They did what they wanted to do as far as controlling the possessions, time of possession, the way the game was playing out. 38 plays, 128 total yards. They got a touchdown on their opening drive, missed on a 40-yard field goal on the final possession of the first half, and in between punted each time. Did not have a turnover, so that is good news. They were penalized 6 times for 45 yards. I've got 7 first downs in the first half for the Cougars, who are 3 of 9 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth down. When you break down their 128 yards, 57 came through the air and 71 coming on the ground. They did give up a punt return touchdown of 58 yards, but defensively also forced a turnover as Corbin Pearson recovered a Bulldog fumble. For Jefferson individually, Pearson is 9 of 17 passing for 57 yards, including a 7-yard touchdown. The only catch in the first half for Antoine Lewis and his first receiving touchdown on the season. 2 grabs, 9 yards for Francis Diaz out of the backfield. 2 catches, 18 yards for John Gidney III, and 3 grabs for 13 yards for Nathaniel Mule. Meanwhile, running the football, 11 carries, 33 yards leading the way for Francis Diaz, and then 9 carries, 38 yards. Well, I guess technically it's Corbin Pearson leading the way with the 38 rushing yards. Let's turn our attention to Martinsburg. They ran only 16 plays in the first half, but it's what you do when you have the football. 241 yards on 16 plays, or an average of 15.1 yards per play. Now, get it, 140 of that came on 2 plays. An 87-yard touchdown pass and a 53-yard touchdown pass. That's 2 of 3 TD passes in the first half for Elijah Banks. And catching the 2 long ones, Anthony Smith. 3 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the first half. I'm going to call it right here. He's our Julie's K9 Academy top dog player of the game. That in one half?
Yeah, if somebody beats that.
1 catch for 9 yards for Joris Thurston, and a grab for 13 yards and a touchdown for Gerard Bowie. A rushing touchdown for Trey Sine. He's got 3 carries for 11 yards. 3 carries, 22 yards for Kevon Warren. Banks is 5 of 7 for 172 passing yards. Break down the 241 yards for the Bulldogs. 172 passing, 69 rushing. Martinsburg with 9 first downs, 4 touchdowns, 1 turnover, and been penalized 4 times for 25 yards. There you go, numbers from the first half brought to you by Dobson and Associates, PLLC, providing accounting, payroll, bill pay, human resources, and IT services. They want to be your back office. Give them a call at 304-264-0437 or stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg. Before we get our second half underway, we check in with Jason, and down on the sideline, reports brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Find out more online at folk4wv.com.
It's going to be interesting to see what Coach said at halftime as he was going off the field. He said he'd like to see a little bit more intensity. Even when they're not playing good, they're still pretty good. But I can imagine the conversations in the locker rooms about picking up the intensity and not taking an opponent for granted.
Martinsburg getting the football to get the second half started, and this will really set the tone for how this second half plays out.
It certainly will, and I'll tell you what, Jason, what he told you at halftime, and I'm sure that's not what he's saying in the locker room. I just don't think he was real pleased with some of the things that went on in the first half, some of the things that they were giving up as far as defense was concerned. I think that was a problem because, this is a one-time that you get to face a team that does what they do on offense, and you want to be prepared. You want to feel like you were, and I felt, looking at that, I'm saying, some guys missed their assignments, and I could see that, and I'm not in the coaching group or whatever, so I think he was probably, I'm sure, a little bit upset with that. But those adjustments were made. I mean, you get in the ear a little bit and remind him a little bit. Again, this is the first time that they've seen that. Saw very similar to that last week at Salem, but not some of the things that Jefferson has done here tonight.
That'll put the finishing touches on the Joe Ferretti Law Office's halftime show. Call the Joe Ferretti Law Office for a free consultation, 304-596-8854. Diaz sets the ball on the side, or its side, at the 40-yard line and squibs it along the near side, and diving on that loose football for the Bulldogs. It looks to be a 17. Hudson Clement, 5'10", sophomore wide receiver.
See, here's the situation, again, with this team being so powerful in the kicking game. They have to squib on the kickoff, and Martinsburg starts out on their own 41-yard line. That's a nice little starting point.
Yeah, we saw a 10-yard punt in the first half after the punt return touchdown, and Martinsburg being dangerous in the kicking game sometimes helps to set this offense in some pretty good shape as well. On first down from their own 41, man in motion near side, that's Gerard Bowie. Throw going deep along the far side and trying to get to that one. Did he make the catch at the 20? No, looks like Anthony Smith, and there will be a penalty marker thrown, and we'll have pass interference.
No question about it. Pass interference on that play. And the thing about it is Martinsburg ran the same formation in the first half, but this time what they did with the trip receivers to the left side, the other side away from us, they brought one receiver back in motion, and that ended up being man-on-man coverage, which Jefferson has a lot of trouble trying to cover that.
So 15 yards will get marked off.
No, Matt, it's going to be offensive pass interference.
What? Boy, I certainly did not see that. So offensive pass interference. And I think the Martinsburg faithful are just beginning to realize what is going on as they begin to gripe just a little bit. So the ball goes all the way back to the 26-yard line. It becomes first down and 25. So Martinsburg will go back to the ground game on the first down and very long. And Trey Sign out there spelling Naeem Kearney out with an ankle injury tonight. And he picks up 5 out to the 31-yard line.
I was really shocked by that pass interference, that offensive pass interference. I thought he went trying to get back to the football. The defensive player never saw the football.
I was going to say he never turned around.
No.
That's a tough call that goes against the Bulldogs. Let's see if they can overcome it. Second down and 20 now from their own 31-yard line. Banks this time will throw. Looking near side, now sets up that middle screen. Caught by Gerard Bowie. He's got blockers out in front. Splits a couple of defenders, stays on his feet. Grabbed from behind and slips that tackle and then goes out of bounds across midfield. I believe they're going to put it right on the midfield stripe. And that gain is good for 19, and Martinsburg will face a 3rd and 1.
Nice job. It's a good job of running with the football after catching the ball. And Gerard Bowie, he's just so elusive out there. You know, not only is he quick, he's fast, and, you know, he's quick, he can get around you very easily, and then he can outrun you.
Boy, continue to add to those passing totals for Elijah Banks, who's up over 190 at 191 yards, 6 of 8 passing. A back to each side of him on a 3rd down and 1. Handoff going to Kevon Warren, coming near side, puts his hand on the back of a blocker, cuts to his right at the 30-yard line inside the 25, taken down from behind at the 20-yard line. That's how you do it. You put your hand on the back of one of the big fellas. I believe that was Noah Kaufman who was leading the way down the field.
Yes, it was. And also, let me give a lot of credit to Darian
Dorn Smith.
Dorn Smith. I'm going to call him Darian. Dorn Smith. Great job of not blocking the guy that was there, because if he had blocked him, it would have been a clipping. He would have hit him in the back. The guy actually did a pirouette, spun out, and Dorn was about ready to hit him.
How about 30 yards on that carry for Kevon Warren, and now the Bulldogs give that little end around handoff to Gerard Bowie. And on first down from the 20 of Jefferson, Bowie will pick up 4 yards down to the 16.
Well, this is what the problem's going to be for Jefferson now. You get another score up here, then the game's going to get out of reach, and then you have to really get out of your offense to try to make something happen to get on the scoreboard.
2nd and 6 from the 16 of Jefferson. Banks taking the snap, handing it off to Kevon Warren. Moving to his left, gets a cutback lane to his right down the near side. Hash mark sprints into the end zone. That's a Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Kevon Warren with a 30-yard run in this possession adds the 16-yard touchdown run. We would have him now 5 carries, 68 yards, and his first rushing touchdown of the night for Warren. His 7th rushing touchdown on the season, and Martinsburg does punch it in on the opening possession of the second half. Again, great blocking.
Oh, yes, it was. Excellent, excellent.
Chris Catlett for the PAT. Trenton Sherman gets the hold down. Kick is up. It is through. 9:50 remaining in quarter number 3. We take a break with Martinsburg leading Jefferson 39-7.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
For great food and a comfortable atmosphere, come to the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard, featuring the breakfast menu served all day, every day, and weeknight specials from 5 to 9. Monday is burger night, a quarter-pound all-beef patty for $1.50, and fresh wings. Tuesday night is prime rib night, just $14.99, and spaghetti for $8.99. Wednesday is steak night. Thursday, half a pound of steamed shrimp, just $9.99. Friday and Saturday, the chef special from 5 until 10, and Sunday is wings and tacos. That's the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Chris Catlett with the ensuing kickoff, pops it up, headed far side, and it bounces at the 26 and goes out of bounds. And let's see, I think Jefferson will likely take it, and they'll set it out to about the 35-yard line. Drive summary brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. For the Bulldogs, 5 plays, 59 yards, 2 minutes and 8 seconds, 16 yards on the touchdown run for Kevon Warren. PAT for Chris Catlett, 39-7. Martinsburg in front, 9:50 to play, quarter number 3. And now, very important to see if Jefferson can get something going with their first offensive possession.
This is going to be a big key for Jefferson, the remainder of this ball game, what they do on this possession. They're down 39-7. Let's see what happens here on this possession.
Corbin Pearson will have Francis Diaz, his tailback to his left side. Receiver out to that far side. 3 here to this near side. It's the wide side left. Now a man in motion. Stops in behind the line. He'll be a blocker as the handoff to Diaz. Wanted some running room to the right, then try to cut back to the left and just got gobbled up and taken down. Waiting to see who that Bulldog is that just swallowed him whole. I believe it's the big fella down inside. Yep, he comes up dancing around, hopping around. Is that making sure that is? Yep, 5'2". Just what I thought. That's Michael Turner, 6'2", 290, the senior with the stop.
Lucas also in on the tackle. He made him change direction. Can't run through that guy.
Move it back to the 34. So that is a loss of a yard, a second down and 11 coming. Diaz now at 32 yards on 12 carries. Back to throw. Pearson, a quick hitter, and Mule makes the catch, and then starts upfield, and it's a diving tackle for the Bulldog linebacker Trey Sign, able to trip him up. Falling forward, though, Mule is going to take that one out to the 47-yard line, 13 yards and a first down.
Well, they've used that formation quite a bit. That's one of their primary formations, and they did throw to the innermost slot man that time, and that's a very effective play. They've been successful with that a couple times here tonight.
On first down and 10, Corbin Pearson looking over that defense, takes the snap, now throws deep over the middle, has a receiver, but the pass tipped up into the air and then almost caught. Oh, wow, that ball hung just a moment, giving Kevon Warren, the linebacker, a little bit of time to catch up. John Gidney jumped up into the air, reached over the top of Warren, tipped it up into the air, and while Kevon Warren wondered where that ball went, Gidney was diving to try to catch it.
Yeah, that was nearly a magnificent catch. Good job of staying with the ball and concentration. Boy, that's just a great job, both offensively and defensively. But the thing about that play, Matt, they had a back come out of the backfield that time, and he was wide open. There was nobody there. The linebacker was gone. He was wide open. Maybe Jefferson will come back to that play maybe here in the next series if they get a first down here.
Man in motion to the far side for Jefferson. There is the snap back. Oh, Corbin loses that football. Pearson picks it up, and Corbin Pearson throws a wounded duck to the far side. Intercepted by Anthony Smith at the 43-yard line along the far sideline. Gets forced out of bounds just inside the 40 at the Jefferson 39.
I'll tell you, he has not made very many mistakes here, but that was his biggest one. Corbin just simply threw that one kind of up for grabs. Wasn't able, I think he was trying to get it to his receiver, but at the same time it looked like he was trying to get it out of bounds, just get rid of the football, but didn't have enough on it to get it out of bounds or to his receiver. So that's going to be a big blow to them. They had an offensive drive going that was pretty steady there for a while.
Their first turnover of the night, and this one could be costly. 8:18 to play in the third, 39-7 Martinsburg, and the Bulldogs take over after the Corbin Pearson pass intercepted by Anthony Smith. There is the snap back, and Banks hands it off to Kevon Warren. He comes to a stop, lets the defenders kind of go by him, and then quickly darts forward for a gain of just about 7 yards. What a nice job by Kevon Warren. Good vision and quick feet. They'll set it down to the 33. So we'll give him 6 yards and make it a 2nd down and 4. Kevon Warren now up to 74 yards on 6 carries and a touchdown. Play action pass over the middle. That quick slant a little high and hard off the hands of Anthony Smith. It is incomplete. By the way, just getting an update, the Houston Astros have a 1-0 lead on our Washington Nationals after 2 innings in Game 3 of the World Series. We'll look to join that in progress immediately following high school football. 3rd down and 4 coming for Martinsburg. They are 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions so far tonight. From the 34 of Jefferson, Banks taking that snap, handing it off. Kevon Warren coming near side. He's got the first down to the 20-yard line and taken down there. Double team on that tackle for 22 and 23. That is Jackie Walters and Spencer Powell who combined to make the stop. It looks like they'll set it at the 21-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain and another first down.
Good job of reading the blocks that time. He had 2 blockers out in front of him, and he simply gave a little dip to the inside and bounced it outside. 7 minutes, 25 seconds go, 3rd quarter, 39-7. Martinsburg on top and knocking at the door again.
Banks taking the shotgun snap, looking far side, going to let that one go. Gerard Bowie cannot get to it as he was angling towards the far sideline and just inside the goal line, reaching out to try to pull that one in, but couldn't get his hands on it.
Yeah, that's one of those that you got to just feather that one a little bit, lay it up there, and let him run under it. He had his man beat, so there's no chance of interception if you throw it long. But if you throw it hard and long, he's not going to get it. If you throw it in the air, he has a chance now of running under it or diving under it.
2nd down and 10 from the 21 of Jefferson. Clock stops, 7:14 to play in the 3rd. Banks has the snap, looks near side, throws that little bubble screen. Caught by Anthony Smith, letting his blocks set up. He darts down the middle of the field, down inside the 10 and the 5, and mark him at the 1-yard line. 20 yards on the pass completion, 13 first downs on the night for Martinsburg, and on the 6th play of the possession, it'll be 1st and goal at the 1.
A good job of patience that time by Banks to find him in that mess. There was a lot of guys milling around and cutting in front of him, and finally he appeared, it got open, and Banks was able to get him the ball. I tell you, he was working hard. I thought he felt like he was going to get in the end zone there. Fell a yard short.
Kevon Warren to the left side of the quarterback, Elijah Banks. Banks going to give the quick pitch, and there goes Warren off that left side, stepping into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Not a whole lot you can do with that. That was just a real nice call. It was one of the best calls I've seen tonight. That was a situation. You got man coverage out there, and Banks just takes the ball and runs the option off the left side. Actually, he could have ran it himself probably.
I wondered if he was going to keep it, but at the last moment, made that pitch to his left, and Kevon Warren gets his second rushing touchdown here in this third quarter. It's his 8th on the season. Martinsburg on the board after that INT. Extra point attempt up and good for Chris Catlett. 6 minutes, 42 seconds remaining here in quarter number 3. We'll return in a moment with Martinsburg leading Jefferson now 46-7.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I'm beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
Sam Duffy with the ensuing kickoff. Gets a nice deep end-over-end kick. Going to chase Gidney all the way back to about the 5-yard line. Turns upfield along the far side. Hashmark is stepping through a tackle at the 20. Stumbling forward out close to the 26. Drive summary, a service of Smallwood Small Insurance. Your total insurance solution. 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. For the Bulldogs, after the Anthony Smith INT, 6 plays covering 39 yards a minute, 36 seconds. Kevon Warren, the 1-yard touchdown run. 46-7. Martinsburg out in front from their own 26, 1st and 10 Jefferson, second offensive possession of this third quarter. 46-7 Martinsburg. Corbin Pearson out of the gun, has Diaz to his right, 2 receivers each way. Ball on the far side, Hashmark claps the hands together, does not get the snap, but now looks to the sideline, and they'll change up that play call. Down to 18 on the play clock. There is the snap, the fake give. Pearson keeps it, turning the corner on the right side, gets to the sideline, stays in bounds for a couple of extra yards, going out at the 36-yard line. And that looks like it should be good for the first down as we check in on the sideline with Jason. Sideline reports brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor.
You know, obviously, whatever Coach said there at halftime, Martinsburg's defense has seemed to have stepped up here. And obviously, just looking good on the offensive side, just taking over where they left off last week.
Yeah, this offense playing well as they scored on 4 straight possessions to close out the first half and their first 2 to open this second half. That was a first down carry of 10 yards. So on 1st and 10 from their own 36, Pearson this time going to hand it off, and the tailback looking for running room left. And there is only a couple of yards. Trey Sign in there to help bring down Francis Diaz.
Terrell Good also on the tackle. 6 minutes, 5 seconds ago, third quarter. 46-7 is our score. Jefferson scoring first in this football game. Their initial series took it down the field and scored. And looked like, well, got ourselves a football game. But offensively, hasn't been a whole lot since then.
Corbin Pearson going to fake that handoff to Diaz. He'll keep it, turning the corner on that right side. Nice stiff arm to be able to get around a Bulldog defender, and eventually Martinsburg able to force him out on the sideline. Looks like they'll spot it close to the 43. So that gained good for just about 5 yards, and will bring up a 3rd down and 3. 11 carries, unofficially 53 yards for Corbin Pearson. I keep wanting to use his first name as opposed to the last name, Corbin Pearson.
A makeable 3rd down situation coming up here, and you know we've got 18 seconds on the play clock. They're taking their good old time as they normally do.
On third down, about 4, they put it actually at the 42. Corbin Pearson taking the shotgun snap, rolling near side, letting the pass go. Nice job on a little comeback route as Spencer Powell goes down to make that catch in Bulldog territory at the 47.
23, Spencer Powell.
He'll pick up just about 9 yards on that one.
Good offensive play that time, and good throw by Pearson, rolling to his left, which is always a tough thing to do for a right-handed throw to make.
Second catch in this one for Powell, who had a grab in that first half for 10 yards. Picks up 11 on this one. First and 10 now at the Martinsburg 47. Fifth play of the possession. Corbin Pearson wanting to throw, flush from the pocket, rolling far side. Looks like he's going to keep it, and a nice open field tackle.
Great tackle.
By the Bulldog free safety, that is Anthony Smith.
Great tackle that time by Anthony Smith.
Makes the stop right back at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose a yard back to the 48-yard line. That might be considered a sack.
Yes.
As the quarterback was flushed from the pocket and did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
That is a sack.
$644.
So second down and 11 now from the Bulldog of 48.
648.
Pearson looking to that far sideline, getting the play call. Play clock down to 18, 17, 16. Game clock at 4 minutes, 20 seconds and counting. 46-7 Martinsburg, Jefferson football. There is the snap back. Controlled roll near side. Throw wide of the intended target. Diving efforts that time by Spencer Powell, but could not get his hands on that one. And there's the toughness of that throw, Vic, you just talked about a moment ago.
You know, the accuracy, if you hit it once, if you hit it 50% of the time, you're doing really, really good. You're rolling, you're right-handed quarterback, you're rolling to your left, you're being pursued, the receiver's running an angle to the outside. Tough throw, and also a tough catch. And the one he did catch, and that one's just wide because of a lot of pressure on that play.
Stops the clock at 4:09 to play in the third. Martinsburg looking well on their way to picking up their 12th straight win in this series. Martinsburg has not lost to an EPAC team since losing to Jefferson in 2007. Good pressure on Corbin Pearson, who gets away from it, throws far side, and finds his target. John Gidney III going down to the ground to make the grab at the 36-yard line, and credit the receiver knowing where the sticks were.
Yeah, and coming back to the football and securing the football. I'm kind of amazed that Martinsburg's secondary is allowing a couple of these 2 or 3 of these catches that we've seen. A lot of scrambling around by the quarterback. He's got a lot of time because he's creating time back there. But if you're in man coverage, you've got to stay on your man. I think it's too much wandering and looking back into the backfield.
First and 10 now from the Bulldog 36. Pearson throwing high, deep along the near side. That's a jump ball tipped up into the air and then intercepted. Jarvis Thurston from inside the 5-yard line, quickly up the field to the 20 and the 25, to the middle of the field, taken down at the 27-yard line.
Well, that's what we say, biting off a little bit more than you can chew.
And Jarvis Thurston, 5'10 junior, with the INT, second thrown by Corbin Pearson in this second half.
Nothing wrong with the attempt that time. Again, the problem is you're down 46-7, and you got to, as I said earlier in the ball game, you got to get bigger chunks because you don't have that kind of time. You always play to win. You're not playing to make the score look good. So you've got to get some bigger chunks.
So first down and 10 for Martinsburg now from their own 28 after the Jarvis Thurston INT return from inside the 5-yard line. 46-7 Martinsburg in front. 3:20 to play in quarter number 3. We'll have a running fourth quarter clock the way this one is playing. Handoff Kevon Warren works his way out to the 35-yard line. He's going to have a gain of just about 7. Second and 3 coming, and I've got Warren up to 94 yards on this ball game. Kevon Warren had 113 yards and a couple of scores against Hedgesville a few weeks back. That's been his season high. Last week, 68 yards on 4 carries, 2 touchdowns down at Salem.
Trey Signian now a quarterback with 2:50 to go here in the third quarter.
And we've seen some packages with him. He'll hand it off. He'll run it. Haven't really seen him throw much. Sign going to keep it coming near side. Gets grabbed and spun down. Nice defense. Sean Corum, 6 foot, 223-pound senior linebacker. Got a paw on him and would not let go. Nice play.
Guess what? Good defensive play. Big third down coming up here for Martinsburg. 2 minutes and 22 seconds ago, third quarter.
Martinsburg trying to stay perfect on third down conversions in this one. They're 4 of 4. They were 2 for 2 in the first half, and so far have gone 2 for 2 here in this third quarter. 2 minutes and counting now in the third quarter. Clock continues to wind. Sign awaiting that shotgun snap. Fakes the give to Warren, keeps it running left, and slips as he made a cutback move to his right. He falls down at the 41.
But he has enough for the first down.
There it is, 6 yards and the first down, and Martinsburg 5 for 5 on third down conversions tonight. That clock will continue to move.
Just past the 4-yard line, which is
Martinsburg looking for win number 51 in a row and looking to set up another big matchup with a Musselman Appleman next week on the road. There is the snap back. Sign going to hand it off. Kevon Warren coming near side. Grab. Spins away from it. Into the clear down the near side. Hashmark gets a foot race. No one's going to catch him. Kevon Warren has the speed and turns it on to go in for the score. He'll cover 59 yards. His third rushing touchdown of this third quarter.
He just ran away from the two defensive people in the secondary there for Jefferson. Especially the defensive back had a good angle on him, and he just pulled away from him. But he also broke a tackle, which he was being, collared around the neck, and he just spun out of that one. 52-7 with the extra point coming up.
How about 153 yards on 10 carries and 3 touchdowns now for Kevon Warren?
Not bad, not bad.
He may be making a pitch now to be our Julie's K9 Academy top dog player of the game.
Let's put it this way, he's on the list.
Snap back, placement down by Sherman, kick up, good for Catlett. PAT through, and with 1:18 to play in quarter number 3, we take a break with Martinsburg out in front now, 53-7.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
We'll give you that scoring drive in a moment. First, the kickoff. This looks like it may be Romer, and it is Nate Romer who gets the kick away. Taken by Gidney along the near sideline at about the 16-yard line. Works up across the 25 and the 30 and taken down on his backside at about the 33-yard line. Looks like Salinas again helping on that special teams tackle. For the Bulldogs, that was a 4-play, 72-yard drive. Took 2 minutes and 2 seconds. 59 yards on the touchdown run for Kevon Warren. 53-7. Martinsburg out in front. And that one came after the second INT of the quarter for the Bulldog defense, giving them now 19 interceptions and 32 turnovers that they have forced on this season. There's Jarvis Thurston, who had the INT leading to that possession. That gives Martinsburg another touchdown. And a little bit of a moment making sure of the right personnel on the field as we get things going. There is the snap back and the handoff to Diaz. Working to his right, finds a cutback lane to his left. Gets across the 35 out to the 36 for a 3-yard gain. Selman in there to help make that tackle, and
nice
Bryce
job.
Morris as well.
Nice job. Under a minute here in the third quarter, 53-7, and this game is starting to indicate the score are both in sync right now.
2nd and 7 coming from their own 36. Jefferson football could be the final play of this third quarter. Corbin Pearson was awaiting the snap, and now the entire team looks over to the sideline, getting that play call from head coach Craig Hunter in his 7th season. Also the track head coach, 4 track state titles down at Jefferson. There's the snap back. Corbin Pearson rolling far side, throws back over the middle, split. 2 defenders, catches made, and Gidney breaks free coming near side to the 30, the 25, and 20, and eventually run down and taken down by Dorn Smith along the near sideline. Mark him out at the Bulldog 14. How did he get that pass through?
I don't know, but he snuck it through there. Good job of concentrating and making that catch. So that's going to give Jefferson great field position here. 1st and 10 at the, we're going to spot it down at the 14-yard line with.
How about 50 yards on that pass completion? Let's see what Jason could see from his angle. Jason, what did it look like from the sideline?
It looked like a very well-thrown pass there, and, you know, you talked about just trying to get prepared for next week and not the big play, but that was a really nice big play there.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, he created a big play. I'm sure it wasn't designed to or expect to get all that, but a nice throw, good catch, and nearly broke that one all the way. Again, taking a play call from the sideline, down to 10 seconds on the play clock.
Down to 6 seconds now. Man in motion to the near side. Corbin Pearson taking the shotgun snap, gives to Diaz, running left, grabbed and quickly taken down. Quentin Brown, the senior linebacker, able to wrap him up. That stop will come, it looks like, at the 12-yard line. That'll be after a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 as we go to quarter number 4. At the end of 3, it's Martinsburg leading Jefferson 53-7.
Let's talk surf and turf. We all know Johnny's has great steaks. Ribeyes, New York strips, ranch, T-bones. But did you know Johnny's also has lobsters? That's right, lobsters. Pair any of our delicious steaks with our lobster items and boom! Surf and turf. Johnny's restaurant quality steak and lobster at wholesale prices and 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Houston 2, Washington nothing.
Along with Vic Holmes, I'm Matt Miller. Jason Colrick on the sideline. Matt Crawford at the studio. Zach Van Meter, Eric Sterick running cameras. Ash Curry, our on-site producer for tonight's Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10 broadcast and telecast of high school football. 2nd down and 8 from the Bulldog 12-yard line. Jefferson has it. 4th quarter underway. Corbin Pearson rolling near side. Lets the pass go into the end zone. A leaping catch. Did he get a foot down? Yeah, he did. No doubt about it. From our angle, you could see an acrobatic grab made by Nathaniel Mule, the junior. He's listed as a running back linebacker, 6'3", 246. Very athletic play there. He's mostly played wide receiver tonight.
That was a great job of throwing the football, number one, putting the ball right there where he needed to, and also a great catch. He was well defended on that play.
Yeah, 2 defenders right there. When Pearson let that one go, I wondered if it was going to find a way to get through, and it did. Nice job. Extra point attempt coming for Orrin Humphreys. Snap is back, and the freshman puts it up and puts it through. So 11:45 remaining in this one, and we take a 60-second break with your score now. Martinsburg at 53 and Jefferson 14.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
First impressions count, and your sign is your signature. Davis Designs is locally owned and locally operated with a legacy that spans over 30 years. Davis Designs is your one-stop shop for custom handcrafted signs, banners, vehicle lettering, design services, and vehicle wraps. Everything from temporary signs to hand-painted gold leafs. Go see Tom for anything from mild to wild. Call 304-267-7807. Follow them on Facebook at Davis Designs or stop by at 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Create your design today.
Well, the Jefferson Cougars finding pay dirts, cutting the deficit to 53-14. Drive summary brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance. We'll tell you about it in a moment.
First impressions count, and your sign is your signature.
One of the Bulldog upmen along the far side hash mark, Quentin Brown, able to corral that one, and Martinsburg will have it. Looks like around their own 43. A four-play, 67-yard drive in a minute and 26 seconds for Jefferson. 12 yards on the touchdown pass, going from Corbin Pearson to the wide receiver Nathaniel Mule, and the extra point up and good. Jefferson has their second score of the ball game. Clock now winding as Martinsburg takes over the possession. Their own 43-yard line. Let's see who's in there at quarterback this time.
Got a whole bunch of new guys out there.
I'm looking at Peyton Curry, I believe. Yeah, that is a 1-5. So Peyton Curry out there at quarterback, takes the snap, hands it off. That's Kai Walker on the jet sweep, coming near side, able to elude a couple of tacklers at the midfield stripe and gain 5 extra yards down to the 45 of Jefferson.
That's a nice run. Nice run that time.
That'll be a pickup of 12 and another Bulldog first down. So Kai Walker gets the carry. Martinsburg up to 16 first downs now in this one. From the 45 of Jefferson. First and 10 coming. Tailback to the right side of the quarterback. Curry lifts that leg, brings a man in motion, hands it off. That's Trenton Sherman, able to turn the corner on that right side outside the numbers. Stays inbounds, taking on a tackler right at the sticks. And let's see if Trenton Sherman was able to pick up the first down. Yes, he was, as he gets down to the 34.
Yeah, he did. He actually took on a tackler there. I mean, he's not the biggest guy in the world, you know, at a heavy 150 pounds, but he took him on. 10 minutes, 10 seconds ago in the football game. On the running clock, 53-14, Martinsburg leads it.
Tailback to the right side of the quarterback. Curry awaiting the shotgun snap. He fakes that give and keeps it. Running off to his right side. Nice job to elude a tackler at the 25. Continues inside the 20 and taken down to the 18-yard line. Nice run for the 5'11 junior Peyton Curry.
That was a nice run that time. A nice move out there.
So if they set it down at the 18-yard line, that was a gain of 16. And that means for Martinsburg, they have had 3 consecutive first down plays, 10 or more yards. And they're bringing in some of the younger guys to get that done. Gotta like it. First down and 10 from the 18 of Jefferson. Curry out of the gun with a back to his left side, 2 receivers each way. He's got the snap. He is going to throw it. Wide receiver screen, caught on the near side, and very quickly it is Hudson Clement who gets hit and taken down. And on that tackle is Antoine Lewis, defensive back. Mark it back at the 21-yard line. It is a pass completion, but for -3 yards. Don't see that one often. 1 for -3. Second and 13 from the 21 of Jefferson. Clock continues to wind. 8:45 and counting. All Martinsburg in this one. Ready to pick up their 51st consecutive victory and 12th in a row in this series. Curry going to hand this one off to the tailback. That is Braxton Todd, spinning away from a couple of tacklers, and eventually the 6', 180-pound sophomore gets spun down. He got back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more as he took that one deep in the backfield, and coming here to the left, got back to the line before being taken down. So now a 3rd down and 13. Look like Francis Diaz helping to make that stop.
I think we're still perfect on 3rd downs, I believe.
You are right. 5 for 5. Got to see if they can keep that going. Hayden Curry taking that snap, giving that quick pitch, and that's Braxton Todd turning the corner on the right side, taking on a tackler inside the 10. I think he's got it. They're going to mark him down close to the 7-yard line, and that gain will be good for the 1st down.
Well, it didn't look like he was going to make it there and get to the 1st down marker, but he showed some pretty good speed. Nice little pickup there.
14 yards on a 3rd and 13, and Martinsburg 6 for 6 on 3rd down conversions tonight. Nice run by Braxton Todd. Normally a linebacker on the starting defense for Martinsburg, but doesn't get a chance to play offense much. There is the snap back and the handoff to the tailback. That's Salinas to his right, and then into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Nice job up front. I can't get the numbers of the guys up front, but that's a nice job of blocking.
Yeah, here he comes to the near side, and one of those big fellas right there to meet him, Tanner Lucas, grabbing a hold of Isaiah Salinas. 5'10", he's a senior, 164 pounds, listed as a linebacker. On that play, a running back, getting the 7-yard touchdown. Extra point attempt will be coming. Let's see who's going to try to put this one through. And it looks like it will be Sam Duffy. So the PAT attempt for Duffy. And it looks like the holder will be Hudson Clement. There is the snap, a little high. Nice job as Clement got it down, and a very nice job as Duffy gets it up and through. Let's take a break. 7:06 remaining in this one. Martinsburg has broken the 60-point mark, now leading Jefferson 60-14.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Well, awaiting the ensuing kickoff, it will be Duffy who puts it on the tee, I believe. Yeah, he approaches. That is Duffy. Gets away the nice end-over-end kick. Gidney takes it at about the 12. Right up the middle of the field, across the 20 and the 25. He's into the clear at the 30 and the 40. Angling to the far side across the midfield stripe, and eventually taken down on the play by Kai Walker, number 14. Nice return once again by John Gidney III. Drive summary for Martinsburg brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance. 7 plays, 57 yards, 4 minutes, 29 seconds. 7 yards on the touchdown run for Isaiah Salinas. 60-14, Martinsburg out in front. 6:30 and counting in this one. Football at the 41-yard line of Martinsburg. See what Jefferson can do. Corbin Pearson still out there at quarterback. 2 receivers each way. Diaz to his right, handoff to him. Francis Diaz running left. Outside the numbers, inside the 35, and the Marcus progress down close to the 33-yard line. That'll be a gain of close to 8. Well, now let's see where they set it. Yep, the 33, so give him 8. 2nd and 2 coming. We've got Diaz now over 40, up to 47 yards on about 16 carries. And again, we're looking at one of those games. Jefferson's going to put up some decent offensive numbers, but again, just the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they're not getting in the end zone. That's a big thing.
2nd down and 2. A little bit of a low snap with the handoff to Diaz, turning the corner on this right side, inside the 30-yard line, and stopped at about the 27. So he'll pick up 6 more. And another 1st down. I've got that as 14 Jefferson 1st downs on the night. from that Bulldog 26-yard line after what's actually a 7-yard gain. It's first down and 10 coming. Clock continues to move. 5 minutes, 12 seconds and counting.
So that's one of the bad parts about being a slow offensive team and running the time off the clock when you need to speed up. Can you speed up? And obviously this team can't. You know, they're so locked into that slow, repetitive, getting the signal from the sideline and snapping the football.
Corbin Pearson taking the shotgun snap on the quarterback keeper to his left, able to get outside tackle. Now going to reverse field and come all the way back here to his right. Cuts back again to his left. Penalty marker is down as Corbin Pearson gets inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. I'm still thinking Nationals, who are down in the third inning. Last we heard 2-0.
That's going to come back, all that running, and it's going to be an illegal block from Jefferson.
Looks like that's going to come roughly 1 yard into that carry. And then they'll mark the 10-yard illegal block off from there. Looking at the numbers for Jefferson. First penalty of the second half. We thought they had one earlier, but it turned out to be an offensive pass interference on Martinsburg. So that's 7 penalties, 55 yards now on Jefferson. Ball goes back out to about the 36-yard line.
Running clock with 3:45 remaining.
So first down and 20. Corbin Pearson pointing some things out as Francis Diaz moves from his left to his right side and now back to his left side. There is the snap back. Rolling far side. Pearson letting the pass go along the sideline. Nice catch going down to the seat of his pants at the 19-yard line. Making that sliding catch, Spencer Powell.
They've been successful with that play tonight, at least twice previously. One right in front of us, another great catch, sliding catch on the sideline. We're down to 3 minutes left in the football game. 60-14 is the score. And Jefferson basically with their starters still out there.
That was a gain of about 16, so a second down and 4. Back to the ground game, and Diaz pulling his way forward down close to what he needed for that first down. A couple of the defensive linemen helping to make that stop. That looks like a 61 Austin Stevens. I did not get the other number. As for Stevens, he's a 6'1", 267-pound senior. Nice job.
3rd and 1.
Yeah, that stop's going to come at the 17 after a gain of 3 on a 3rd down and 1. Pearson going to keep it coming near side. Can he get to the sideline and to the first down? He cannot. Great job by the Bulldogs' Joshua Montalegre, 5'10 senior, who had the speed to chase him down. By the way, there's also a penalty marker down along the far side, hash mark, pretty much at the line of scrimmage. I'm sure the Bulldogs would likely decline this penalty.
I think it might have been Martinsburg lining up offside.
Oh, wow, no, we had a personal foul, it looked like.
Wow.
So a penalty against Martinsburg. I guess they'll mark it from the end of that play as he goes all the way down to the 9-yard line. So
not real good mechanics from the officials, so we're not sure exactly what it was, but it is half the distance to the goal against Martinsburg. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line. Running clock, 1 minute 20 seconds to go in the football game.
So from that Martinsburg 9-yard line on a 1st down and goal to go, Corbin Pearson on the quarterback keeper, bottled up and taken down pretty much right back at the line of scrimmage. Clock now going to wind down, under 1 minute left. Martinsburg going to get the win. They'll improve to 9-0. Jefferson will suffer their 3rd straight loss, falling to 1-7. There's the snap back and the handoff. Diaz coming near side to the goal line. He's in for the Jefferson touchdown. Francis Diaz scores his 5th touchdown on the season. So he'll get credit for the 9-yard carry on the 2nd and goal. Diaz now, I've got him at 66 yards on about 19 carries. He's been a bit of a workhorse out of the backfield in this one. Clock stops now with 38 seconds left as a result of the touchdown. Extra point attempt for Humphreys. The left-footed kicker puts it up and through. Let's go ahead and take just a 30-second break, and then we will come back to Coburn Field, getting ready to wrap this one up with Martinsburg out in front, 60-21.
For great food and a comfortable atmosphere, come to the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard, featuring the breakfast menu served all day, every day, and weeknight specials from 5 to 9. Monday is burger night, a quarter-pound all-beef patty for $1.50, and fresh wings. Tuesday night is prime rib night, just $14.99, and spaghetti for $8.99. Wednesday is steak night. Thursday, half a pound of steamed shrimp, just $9.99. Friday and Saturday, the chef's special from 5 until 10, and Sunday is wings and tacos. That's the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
That Jefferson drive summary, 41 yards on 7 plays, took just under 6 minutes. A 9-yard touchdown run for Francis Diaz, 60-21 is the Martinsburg lead. And after this kickoff, Martinsburg should not even have to snap the football, I don't believe. With 38.3 ticks left, and now they start that clock even before the kickoff from Humphreys. He's going to approach and bounce it down the middle of the field and then out of the hands of one of the Bulldog up men, and eventually diving on it is Quentin Brown, and Martinsburg will have it. It looks like right around their own 38-yard line, and they're not even going to send anybody on the field. Down to 18, down to 17. Time's going to run out on this one, yes. And your final score is going to be 60-21. Martinsburg will get the win, improving to 9-0. Their 51st consecutive victory overall, their 12th straight in this series, and Martinsburg is setting up the big matchup next weekend as they will take on the Applemen up at Musselman High School. The clock has hit zeros. We'll get into our postgame show after this timeout. Our postgame is going to be brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. They feature a full lunch and dinner menu with daily evening specials from 5 to 9, served in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the full menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Again, tonight's final, Martinsburg 60, Jefferson 21.
Maytag knows extra dirty clothes need extra cleaning power. That's why the power of the extra power button makes Maytag extra powerful. Wow. Dirt doesn't stand a chance against this kind of power. Get a load of this. That laundry is stacked. Not bad, huh? The Maytag extra power button. More muscle to tackle the tough job.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Is your dog driving you nuts? Does he have behavioral issues? Is she not listening? It doesn't have to stay that way forever. Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Josh. We own and operate Julie's Canine Academy, a family dog training business.
You are not alone, and there is hope for you and your dog. With the right training and right approach, we can help with any problem. We provide total off-leash training on our 6 acres of dog paradise in Falling Waters. Visit juliescanineacademy.com. That's Julie's, K with the number 9, academy.com.
Any dog, any breed, any problem.
Black dogs on 3! 1, 2, 3, black dogs! Who let the dogs out?
Coming up next, we've got complete game stats and analysis. We'll recap the scoring, name our offensive and defensive players of the game, and take a look ahead to our next broadcast. All on the postgame show. So let's get started and head back to the stadium to rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Back again. again here at Coburn Field, getting into our post-game show along with Vic Holmes. I'm Matt Miller on the sideline, Jason Colrick, Matt Crawford at the studio, Ash Gurry, our on-site producer, Eric Sterick, Zach Van Meter are our camera operators. Well, Martinsburg breaking the huddle. Coach Walker standing by with Jason. Let's send it down.
Down here with Coach. Coach, congratulations, 9th straight win. On a night where maybe you were missing some key players, you guys still had a pretty dominating performance.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some pretty good players, even though we're missing some guys. But, I thought we played pretty well. I thought we were kind of in not a lot of enthusiasm, kind of in cruise control. But we did what we needed to do to take care of it. And we come out of it healthy. That's the main thing.
Yeah, Coach, going forward, those injuries, is this going to be something you're going to have to look for? Obviously, Musselman, big matchup next week, and then into the playoffs. Are these minor injuries, or is there something to be concerned about?
No, there's nothing to be concerned about. You just you don't want to aggravate things, and when you don't need to. It's there's a difference between being injured and being hurt, and we're probably a little hurt. So that means we probably could have went tonight if we needed to.
Coach, offensively, you guys looked again like you moved the ball pretty well. Elijah threw some nice passes. Your running game, again, pretty balanced again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of taking what they give us, and we saw some one-on-one matchups. I was glad to see Anthony Smith have a big game for us, and we were able to get him some passes. But they were doubling Gerard, but Gerard's going to get his touches and do his thing. So in our running game, I thought Warren and Sam both looked good. So I thought we were pretty solid.
Special teams came through for you big again tonight. Another touchdown. How special is that unit?
Yeah, pretty good, except for our kick coverage wasn't the best at times. But we got some skilled guys out there, and we spent a lot of time working on it. So there's always room for improvement.
Defensively, it seemed like that's where you were missing your players the most, giving up 21 points tonight. Did Jefferson do something a little different tonight that you weren't expecting?
No, I thought they pushed us around a little bit up front, and I think a lot of that just had to do with the lack of effort at times. But we were missing a couple inside guys, but it shouldn't make that much of a difference. I thought a lot of it was just not playing with a lot of intensity.
Final game of the year coming up, regular season, Musselman, big matchup. Both of you ranked high in the state. Any thoughts on that initially?
Hey, not really. I mean, I've not seen them play, but I know that Coach Thomas does a nice job with them, and they'll be prepared to play. And we got to play down there. It's a tough place to play, so should be a good matchup.
Congratulations again, 9-0, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you. And there you go, Matt. From down here, I know we want to try to keep it somewhat short so we can get to the World Series game.
You got it, Jason. Thank you so much. Yep, Matt Crawford standing by. He'll tell us what's happening in that World Series. He's got highlights from this one, and as well, he will give us some scores from around the EPAC and AAA in high school football. Before we get you off to Game 3 of the World Series, last count, it was a 2-0 Houston lead over our Washington Nationals. Vic, quickly, just want to get a little analysis from you. A little bit of a slow start for Martinsburg as they fell behind 7-0, 7-7 going into quarter number 2. And yet when Martinsburg got it rolling, they scored on their final 4 possessions of the first half and scored on each of 4 possessions in the second half.
This was a good football game for them, believe it or not, regardless of the score, especially in the first quarter when they got behind 7-0. Jefferson kind of took it to them, pushed them around a little bit up front, and moved the ball. Of course, Martinsburg with a couple guys out, injured and so forth, but that's no excuse. The point is that they did a good job there early in the football game and able to do what they wanted to do, and they were successful. But Martinsburg just kind of rejuvenated itself, and after that series, and I think from there on kind of took control of the football game. But I thought it was a good game for them because several things happened, as I said earlier. One, first time they've been scored on the first quarter. 2, this first time they had been behind in a football game, which you don't want to wait until the state semis or state finals and that happened, and all of a sudden you get shell-shocked and you start panicking and so forth. So those kind of things are out of the way. So that was something that and again, they have seen a variety of different offenses and so forth and defenses. So I think all those are good things, and all those good things like that work well for you, especially if you're a playoff contender like obviously they are.
Yeah, ready to make their 22nd consecutive playoff appearance are these Martinsburg Bulldogs. Well, we'll take a 1-minute timeout. When we come back on our Palace Lounge postgame show, we will go ahead and take a look at some of the numbers from this one, and we'll give out tonight's awards, our collision of the game, our electrifying play of the game, and our top dog player of the game. That as we return to Coburn Field, where Martinsburg gets the win over Jefferson, 60-21.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
All right, we welcome you back to Coburn Field, the Palace Lounge postgame show. Looking at some postgame numbers, the service of Dynamark Atlantic Security reminding you, hey, don't be a statistic. Protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Find out more by calling our friend Ben Copenaver at 304-671-2158. Well, let's begin with Jefferson. First half, 38 plays, 128 yards. Second half, 23 plays, 161 yards. That's 289 yards of offense on 61 plays, an average of about 4.7 yards per play, 118 rushing yards, 171 passing yards for Corbin Pearson, 15 of 27 for those 171 yards. Did end up throwing a couple of second-half picks, but also threw a big touchdown pass in there as well in the first half, and a touchdown pass in that second half. So 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Nice effort for him. He also had 14 carries for 53 yards, 19 carries, 66 yards, leading the ground game for Francis Diaz. Jefferson, 6 of 12 on third down conversions, went 1 for 1 on fourth down conversions. Let's turn quickly to the Martinsburg Bulldogs. We had 16 plays, 241 yards in the first half. How about 242 yards on 22 plays in the second half? That's pretty balanced. 38 total plays, 483 yards, an average of 12.7 yards per play. 208 yards passing, 275 yards rushing. The Dogs went 6 for 6 on third down conversions, did not attempt a fourth down, and ended up scoring on their last 8 possessions of this football game. And in there another Gerard Bowie punt return, and more than enough as the Bulldogs get the win 60-21. Let's see, Elijah Banks would wrap things up at 7 of 11 for 211 yards, had the 3 touchdown passes in the first half. And how about Kevon Warren? 10 carries, 153 yards, and he would have 3 touchdown runs, all coming in that third quarter. Just some of the numbers, and brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. They have the solutions to meet your needs and local monitoring too. Find out more by calling Ben Copenaver at 304-671-2158. All right, let's go to our, I think this one's easy, the electrifying play of the game, and it has to be the 87-yard touchdown bomb from Elijah Banks to Anthony Smith. Laid that one out there beautifully, a great catch and then a great run afterwards. Any doubts? Everybody's shaking their heads, so let's go with it. The electrifying play of the game brought to you by Orsini's in Martinsburg. Hey, they not only offer top names in kitchen and laundry appliances, but how about Traeger wood-fired grills, sleep, you name it. I mean, they do it all now. Their brand new location at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg. All right, our collision of the game. Jason, you had a correction for us. I think the collision of the game has to be the big hit on the punt return touchdown. We had credited that initially to Anthony Smith. You told me it was Trenton Sherman who had that big one.
Yeah, it was. It was Trenton Sherman that had that big one. So, I didn't have the mic up, so I couldn't tell you, but I did send it to you in text message.
I saw it.
So, it was actually Trenton Sherman that had that hit.
That was a big one that helped to seal that corner and give Gerard Bowie the chance for that 58-yard punt return touchdown. Trenton Sherman gets our collision of the game. It's brought to you by Cody's Body Shop, 851 Wilson Street, Martinsburg, family-owned. Cody's offers superior customer service at a great price and performed by experienced, certified technicians. You can find them online at codysauto.com. That's COTYS auto.com, or phone 304 901-4777. And I think we're going to have it again. The top dog player of the game brought to you by Julie's Canine Academy. We said dogs run in packs, and last week on the road at Salem we had to do it. You got to go Anthony Smith in the first half, but you can't ignore Kevon Warren in the second half.
You can't. No way. No way. Both of those guys I thought were great ball games in their own right.
Yep.
And I see no reason why we can't have a co.
Well, and if you remember back, I asked Coach last week, how nice is it that you've found that you have a two-headed monster running back? You got Kearney out and Warren. I mean, man, the kid does nothing but score touchdowns. I mean, he really doesn't. And Anthony Smith in the first half, I mean, he had some great plays on defense, but, man, he just got behind the defense and made some great catches there in that first half. So I'm agreeing with you. They definitely run in packs.
3 more touchdowns for Kevon Warren, guys. He now has surpassed Naeem Kearney. He's got 9 touchdowns to Naeem Kearney's 8 touchdowns. Warren came in with 14 carries, add 10 more, so 24 carries, 9 touchdowns.
This is a kid, I'm telling you, if he's playing any place but Martinsburg, he is the featured back.
Yes.
And he's probably, look, he's the guy up in Musselman, I can't think of his name right off the top of my head.
Blake Hartman.
Blake Hartman putting up big numbers.
Yeah.
What would this kid do if he was the featured back? I mean, it's exciting. I mean, and he's coming back next year as well.
Yeah, we've talked with the coaching staff before. Who's probably your fastest guy? Because there are some quick guys out there, and they said, you put him on the track and just do a straight sprint, Kevon Warren beats them all. I think he showed it tonight on a couple of those runs.
He most certainly did.
All right. Player of the game brought to you by Julie's Canine Academy. If you're struggling with your dog or simply want your dog to learn basic obedience, Julie's Canine Academy can help. They work with any dog, any breed, any problem. Find out more at juliescanineacademy.com. Check them out as well on Facebook. One more 1-minute timeout. We come back, wrap up the Palace Lounge postgame show, looking ahead to what is next for both of these teams and our next broadcast. Final again tonight from Coburn Field. Martinsburg beating Jefferson 60-21.
Hey football fans, it's your friendly alarm professional, Ben Copenhaver with Dynamark Atlantic Security. Who do you trust to keep your family and valuables safe? Integrity, trust, and professionalism are all reasons why Dynamark is the choice for home and business security in the Eastern Panhandle. Dynamark is proud to serve the community and be your first choice for alarm solutions. Don't become a statistic of crime today. Phone Dynamark Security to protect your tomorrow. Phone 304-671-2158.
For great food and a comfortable atmosphere, come to the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard, featuring the breakfast menu served all day, every day, and weeknight specials from 5 to 9. Monday is burger night, a quarter-pound all-beef patty for $1.50, and fresh wings. Tuesday night is prime rib night, just $14.99, and spaghetti for $8.99. Wednesday is steak night. Thursday, half a pound of steamed shrimp, just $9.99. Friday and Saturday, the chef special from 5 until 10, and Sunday is wings and tacos. That's the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
All right, back one final time tonight here at Coburn Field. Senior night in Martinsburg will send the seniors out in style, if you will, with a 60-21 win over Jefferson. Next up for the Cougars, next week they will entertain Hedgesville, their senior night final home game before they close it out at Washington. Next up for Martinsburg, Musselman getting the win over Washington tonight, meaning that the Applemen, with just one loss, they'll be 8-1 through their 9 games, taking on 9-0 Martinsburg. That's going to be a fun one next week.
Most certainly is. I'll tell you, the whole county, I'm sure, is looking forward to that one. And it's going to be real interesting. I think Musselman feels as though, maybe they're the stepchild here in the county. But it's going to be an interesting contest simply because of the fact that Martinsburg, they kind of run off of a lot of people. Musselman is basically gearing up behind one person, not a one-man team, but basically as he goes, so goes their team. So it's going to be an interesting situation on how Martinsburg handles, that one entity next week.
It'll be on the natural grass at, Waldeck Field at Denny Price Stadium, and we will be there to bring you all of the play-by-play action. Kickoff is set for 7, our pregame at 6, and Miller time at 5. Wraps up our portion of the postgame show. Don't go away. The Extra Point postgame scoreboard show coming up, an abbreviated edition back at the studio with our own Matt Crawford. Then it's off to what is left of Game 3 of the World Series. The Washington Nationals hosting the Houston Houston Astros. Last check, the Astros had a 2-0 lead. Well, special thanks to our sponsors for their supporting our coverage of high school football with the Martinsburg Bulldogs. We thank you for joining us at each of our broadcast entities. Thanks to both athletic directors, head coaches, and all the staff and folks here at Coburn Field for all of their help and their hospitality with our broadcast coverage today. Our on-site producer has been Ash Gurry, running cameras, Zach Van Meter and Eric Sterick. Matt Crawford back at the studio for Jason Colrick and for Vic Holmes. I'm Matt Miller, reminding you once again, tonight's final, Martinsburg 60, Jefferson 21. Until next week, so long, everyone.
Who let the dogs out? And that concludes today's postgame show. Be sure to tune in each week throughout the regular and postseason for more West Virginia high school football featuring the AAA Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's game has been brought to you by
Parsons Ford, your friendly Martinsburg Ford dealer. Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 South, Inwood. Berkeley and Morgan County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. Miller Honda, just one click away at MyMillerHonda.com. The Marius Group, start planning for a brilliant future. Johnny's, restaurant quality foods at wholesale prices. J&P Service and Repair, getting your tractor back in gear. Hagerstown Ford, FordofHagerstown.com. And WVU Medicine University Healthcare, West Virginia's largest healthcare provider.
The game may be over, but don't go away just yet. It's time for the Extra Point, where we add on scores and information from other games around the Eastern Panhandle and the Mountain State. So let's get it started as we head back to the Talk Radio WRNR studios.
Welcome back into the Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 studios. Matt Crawford here with you. Another big win for the Dogs. They're 9-0. That's 51 consecutive victories for the boys in black and orange. 60-21 over regional rival Jefferson. Jefferson, again, the last team to beat them in the Eastern Panhandle. And starting early, looked like Jefferson was going to make a run at it once again 12 years later. It was Corbin Pearson to Antoine Lewis from 5 yards out to get the game started. That would make it 7-0. Elijah Banks to Gerard Bowie from 13 yards out to tie it up at 7 after 1 quarter of play. And from then on, it was all Dogs. But give credit to Jefferson. Never went away. Would have had a few more scores. It's something you can't necessarily say about every team the Dogs have faced this year. Jefferson didn't go around and would at least stay competitive and try to work that offense and find the end zone. But in quarter number 2 was Elijah Banks to Anthony Smith. 87 yards on a 3rd and long. That is when the Dogs would take the lead for the first time in the ball game. A missed extra point. 13-7 at that point in the contest. It was then a 58-yard punt return for Gerard Bowie. Well, what's new for Bowie? Seems like every time he touches the football on special teams, he's finding the end zone. It was a missed 2-point conversion, 19-7 at that point. Trey Sign would take it in from 11 yards out on the keeper. A missed 2-point conversion again, a 25-7 at that point. And then a 53-yard pass. Once again, Anthony Smith from Elijah Banks. 32-7 was our halftime score. In the third quarter, it was Kevon Warren, a 16-yard touchdown, one of 3 in the third quarter. It was then Kevon Warren on the pitch from Elijah Bank from 3 yards out, 46-7 at that point. And then once again, Kevon Warren from 59 yards out, the touchdown run, making it 53-7 going into the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, it was Jefferson getting in the end zone a couple of times. Corbin Pearson finding Nathaniel Mule, a 16-yard touchdown pass, 53-14 at that point. Isaiah Salinas would then find the end zone for the Dogs. The senior getting in the end zone on senior night from 7 yards out, 60-14 at that point. And then Francis Diaz, a touchdown run, that one from 9 yards out, bringing us to our final 60-21. Let's take a look at some of the highlights in this one before we take a break, give you scores from around the Eastern Panhandle and AAA scores, then send you off to Washington Nationals baseball game 3 of the World Series. But first, some highlights from the 60-21 win for the Dogs.
Football at the 7-yard line. Back to throw, Pearson, flush from the pocket, rolling near side, throws in the end zone, catch is made. It's a Jefferson touchdown as Antoine Lewis pulled it in, and for the first time this season, an opponent has scored in the opening quarter on the Martinsburg Bulldogs. On 1st and 10 from the 13, pass over the middle on the slant, caught by Gerard Bowie. He's in the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Here on this far side.
And there goes that deep ball down the middle looking for Anthony Smith. He's got it in stride at the 45-yard line. It's a foot race angling towards the near side between the hash marks and the numbers. And now into the end zone. Anthony Smith able to pull that one in from Elijah Banks and cover 87 yards. Football going to be snapped back at the 28-yard line. Diaz does get that kick out taken at the 41-yard line by Gerard Bowie. Coming near side, gets a huge block, and he is down the near sideline and into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. He's back, and the handoff to Trey Sign to his right, got in behind the blocking, let it set up, and then finds the hole to the end zone. That's a nice piece of running and a good piece of blocking. Banks taking the snap, handing it off to Kevon Warren. Moving to his left, gets a cutback lane to his right, down the near side, hash mark, sprints into the end zone. That's a Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. There is the snap back. Sign going to hand it off. Kevon Warren coming near side, grab, spins away from it, into the clear down the near side, hash mark, gets a foot race. No one's going to catch him. Kevon Warren has the speed and turns it on to go in for the score. He'll cover 59 yards, his third rushing touchdown of this third quarter. Yard line, Jefferson has it. Fourth quarter underway. Corbin Pearson rolling near side. Lets the pass go into the end zone. A leaping catch. Did he get a foot down? Yeah, he did. No doubt about it. From our angle, you could see an acrobatic grab made by Nathaniel Mule, the junior. He's listed as a running back linebacker, 6'3", 246. Very athletic play there. He's mostly played wide receiver tonight.
And there are your highlights from this one. Again, a 60-21 decision. The Dogs improving to 9-0, 51 straight wins for Martinsburg. Today's opponent was Jefferson, and Jefferson falling the way that a lot of other teams have this year. Every other team has the last 51 games against Martinsburg. We're going to take our only time out here of the Extra Point post-game show. We got to get you to Washington Nationals baseball. So after the 60-second timeout, we will tell you what else went on featuring Eastern Panhandle schools tonight and give you a roundup of AAA and also the top 4 seeds in AA and Single A, and set you up for what's going on over the weekend on WRNR and TV10. That coming up next as we wrap up the Extra Point post-game show. After this 60-second timeout, this is West Virginia High School football on TV10.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. It certainly has helped take us to another level.
Welcome back into the Extra Point post-game show. Again, the final on our game tonight, Martinsburg over Jefferson, 60-21. But lots of other action going on featuring the other 4 Eastern Panhandle schools. Musselman was in Charlestown taking on Washington. As you may expect, the 7-1 Applemen get the win over the 2-5 Washington Patriots. 56-15, the final in that one. That now sets up a good matchup next Friday between the Applemen and the Bulldogs. Musselman going to go in 8-1. Martinsburg going to go in 9-0. Spring Mills was at Parkersburg taking on the Big Reds tonight. That game has not gone final. Right now it's Parkersburg up 20-7. And the only other team that played tonight out of the Eastern Panhandle, the only one left, was Hedgesville at North Hagerstown, and it was the Hubs getting the best of the Eagles, 41-19, the final in that one. Hedgesville remains winless on the 2019 season. So again, getting wins tonight, Martinsburg over Jefferson, Musselman over Washington. No final yet from Spring Mills at Parkersburg, and Hedgesville falling at North Hagerstown. Let's take a look at AAA scores from around the Mountain State. Cabell Midland taking on Huntington tonight. That was a 2-8 matchup. Huntington right now behind by 3 touchdowns. So Cabell Midland doing what was expected as the 2 seed. They're up 28-7 in the fourth quarter. Number 3, Parkersburg South welcoming number 7 Greenbrier East in the AAA game of the week. And 42-10. It was Parkersburg South getting the win as the higher seed. They will remain undefeated on the season. One of now 3 remaining undefeateds in AAA. GW's taking on Riverside tonight in the 9-10 matchup. This game looked like it should be a lot closer than this, but it was 42-6. GW getting the win over Riverside. Riverside's going to drop to 4-4. GW going to improve to 5-3. Capital all over Woodrow Wilson. Game last updated in the third quarter. But Capital's going to go on for the win, 35-7. The last update in that one. It would take a miraculous comeback by a 1-6 Woodrow Wilson team if they were able to come back in that ball game. The upset of the night so far is 1-7 Morgantown in a shootout with number 14 John Marshall. John Marshall trying to pull back to the 500 mark at 4-4 and try to stay in that playoff race. Morgantown had other ideas. We've seen Morgantown's offense get better and better over the last couple of weeks and be in games where they could have gotten wins. They finally get over that hump this week. They will get their second win of the year, 54-41 on the road in the Northern Panhandle against John Marshall. John Marshall going to fall to 3-5. South Charleston up by a touchdown in the fourth quarter over number 15 Hurricane, 14-7 the score in that one. Princeton beats Ripley 42-34. It's going to drop Ripley out of the top 16 eligible for the playoffs. Just 2 weeks left in the regular season. Brook beats Buchanan Upshur in a battle of 1-6 teams. So Brook going to get their second win of the year, 35-7 the final in that one. And Preston gets their second win in a row. Last week beating Washington, this week beating University 20-19 the final in that one. Going on again to the top 4 seeds in AA and Single A. Fairmont Senior played earlier this week, getting the 49-7 win over number 12 Lewis County. The Dots of Poca High stay undefeated with a 47-0 win against Scott at home. And number 4, Bridgeport was taking on number 3, Kaiser tonight. The Golden Tornadoes fall to Bridgeport 28-7 in that 4-3 matchup. In Single A, Doddridge County beats Valley Wetzel in shutout fashion 56-0. Doddridge County remains undefeated, now 8-0 on the season. Pendleton County gets a 1-point win in a 2-12 matchup. Pendleton County is probably going to say that number 2 team after beating East Hardy 7-6. They also remain undefeated. East Hardy going to fall to 5-3. The number 3 team in Single A this week was Ritchie County. They beat Wirt County 20-7. And the number 4 team in Single A is Williamstown. They're taking on Parkersburg Catholic, who's the number 14 team in Single A this week. That game is set to take place tomorrow. So that is your scores from AAA from around the Mountain State and what all the top seeds are doing in AA and Single A across the state of West Virginia. All right, real quick before we send you to Nationals baseball on WRNR for the night and into regular programming on TV 10 for the next hour or so, let's quickly tell you what's going on over the weekend on both entities. Tomorrow on WRNR, it'll be Game 4 of the World Series. That's a 7 o'clock pregame for that one. And it'll be another home game for the Nationals. The next 3, if needed, or I guess 2 after tonight, as needed, will be in Washington, and we will send you that one here in just a minute. And as that one finishes up, it may allow us an opportunity to get some NCAA football, where it'll be Washington State at Oregon. That is a 10 o'clock kickoff, but again, that will be time permitting. On Sunday, it will be the World Series once again. Again, if needed. The Nationals win tonight and tomorrow. Not needed. The Redskins played last night falling into Minnesota, so no regional coverage as it'll be the Steelers playing on Monday night. But it will be Sunday night football joining in progress, the Green Bay Packers at the Kansas City Chiefs. So that is what's going on the radio side of things, AM 740 and FM 106.5 over the next couple of days on TV 10. Tomorrow, it'll be Shepherd Ram football, a 1:30 pregame. The Rams trying to spoil homecoming for Millersville, a 1:30 pregame, 2 o'clock kick it'll be myself and Vic Holmes, along with the rest of the TV10 production crew, going up to Pennsylvania as we follow the Shepherd Rams each Saturday. Again, a 1:30 pregame, 2 o'clock kick from Millersville. Catch that on Comcast Cable Channel 10 in Berkeley and Jefferson County. If you don't have Comcast, live outside of those two areas, you can always catch it on WRNR TV on YouTube. Well, that is going to wrap up our complete coverage tonight. Again, on the radio side, time to send you to Washington Nationals baseball. We'll join the top of the 5th inning. Right now, it's Houston 2. The Nationals 1 out in the top of the 5th. The Nationals lead the series against Houston 2-0. TV10 will go back into local programming. Reminding you one final time, the final in our game tonight, it was Martinsburg getting the 60-21 win over Jefferson. That's a 9-0 start now for the Dogs, and 51 straight. Until next Friday, we will see you then.
And the extra point is up and good. That concludes today's broadcast of West Virginia High School football. All rights reserved. For the best in high school, college, and NFL coverage all season long, keep it tuned in to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.